will take home the prize. So come get it, play this game. Showing all your skills, bang, bang.
Let's raise the bar, ready to start, we'll never stop. Together we're off the charts.
No doubt we will get that. Roll out, never sit back, sit back.
Let's raise the bar, ready to start, we'll never stop. Together we're off the charts.
Yeah, I bet you will show them all your skills.
Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity. Set the tone like it's set in stone. Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity. Set the tone like it's set in stone. Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win. Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win.
Coming in, don't hit pause. Owning it like the boss. We taking care of the job like we the best. Going in for the chase, body go celebrate. We can take home first place like first and 10.
Out in this world we can explore anything we want to the core. So come on, we'll play this game. Show all your skills, bang, bang.
Let's raise the bar, ready to stop, we'll never stop. Together we're off the charts.
No doubt we will get that, get that. Roll out, never sit back, sit back.
Raise the bar, ready to stop, we'll never stop. Together we're off the charts.
Yeah, I bet you will show more your skills. Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity.
Set the tone like it's set in stone.
Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity.
Set the tone like it's set in stone.
Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win. Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win.
No matter what, we will weather any storm when we're together. We can always aim for more. Yeah, this that bang bang we're on fire.
Set the tone like it's set in stone. Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity.
Set the tone like it's set in stone. Set in stone.
Bang, bang, we win.
Set in stone. Set the tone like it's set in stone. Free fire, yeah. Could've never faced this alone. Keep my head up and breathing low. Put my heart with the ones I know, yeah. Cause I got the bass turned up loud, and the best that I know around. Fire that we can't live without, yeah. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my oh my, need you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not seeing light. And if I'm right, I've seen the sign. Seems like there's no more lonely nights, no. Then I guess I know that I'm feeling the fire. I can see nothing in our way when we're catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame, and I feel this heat in the space. Then oh, I guess I know that I'm feeling the see the red suddenly. Barely time to count up to 3. Look around at my company, yeah. The sky opens up for lightning. Time crawls up close, it's tightening. My brothers do the right thing, tapping on the floor. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my oh my, need you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not saying light. And if I'm right, I've seen the signs. Seems like there's no more lonely nights, no. Then I guess I know that I'm feeling the fire. I can see nothing in our way when I'm catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame, and I feel this heat in the space. Then oh, I guess I know that I'm feeling the back to the start, yeah. But I'm feeling the fire all up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. But I'm feeling the fire all up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. And I'm feeling the feeling, the feeling, that I'm feeling the catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame, and I feel this heat in the space. Then oh, I guess I know that I'm feeling the
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Skyesports Pro League Free Fire Max. Get ready for the ultimate showdown of creators collide in the battle of skill, strategy, and sheer adrenaline. It's time to experience Free Fire Max like never before, where every second is packed with heart-pounding action. Let the event begin, and may the best team win and have the victory in their favor. This is me, Tanya. Alongside me, it is Arka. Arka, I would want to ask you, how are you and how excited are you for this particular event?
I'm super excited to be frank, Tanya, because I've been waiting for such an event to occur. Finally, Free Fire Max is starting off with their festivals. I think this is the right kind of start for 2025 because from here on, we can expect back-to-back events to come in. And what a big stage right now. The Skyesports Pro Series, a Pro League. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
And as you mentioned, Skyesports Pro League Free Fire Max is surely a festival which is going to be celebrated from 11th of March, which is today, until 16th of March, which is grand final, for which we all are aligned for. And this is a celebration like never before, bringing a festival of positivity, enthusiasm, and fierce competition. This exciting event will not only showcase the best teams in Free Fire Max, but also engage fans in truly interactive experience. So make sure you cheer for your favorite team by being part of this vibrant tournament.
Absolutely, but looking at the format, everybody needs to understand there's a unique format they brought in for the first time. The knockoff stages has 18 teams. They're going to play across 3 days. The best 12 teams from the overall standing will move forward to the point rush week. The point rush day is just one day where the top 12 teams are going to play out to fight to have an advantageous point. Like if you guys are on the top, you're going to have certain advantages when it comes to the grand finals regarding the overall standing. So let's see what are those advantages, and finally then we have the grand finals, which is going to take place as well.
And for the grand finals also, we do have some new rules that have been introduced and which are very, very interesting. We will explain you as the day progresses. But these invited 18 teams have got a total of 12 maps to participate and qualify themselves toward point rush phase. And over there, you don't get disqualified, you don't get eliminated. You go towards finals with some head start points. But this is the most massive thing we should be talking about. 1.5 million worth of prize pool, and the splitters champions taking away the biggest chunk, which is 5 lakh. Second place gets 2.5 lakh and third place gets 1.25 lakhs.
Now, the best part about this prize pool, obviously, is nobody is walking home empty-handed. All you have to do is make sure that you qualify to the grand finals, and the 12th place itself is going to get 40,000. Now, let me tell you this, the 4th position is going to get 96,000, and then it's going to descend quickly until the 12th position is going to take home 40,000 rupees for themselves. And including this is going to be some additional awards, and that's going to be the individual awards, where MVP is going to take home 20,000 rupees and the Predator is going to take home 10,000 rupees. So additional amounts, everybody will be eyeing for it. And let's not forget that, it's not just about going empty-handed, but it's also having something which money can't buy, that's experience.
The money can't buy, obviously, and there's something more that money can't buy, is this exact amount of points, where you have to make sure you are skilled enough to not only bag Booyah, which is going to give you total of 11 placement points, 12 placement points, followed by position 2 giving you 9 and position 3 giving you 8, so on and so forth. You are going to get points, but for 11 and 12 it's all about elimination points. For one particular elimination you get 1 point each, but balance should be the part of this ecosystem to take away the title, the trophy, and all the rights of bragging you want. So here we go. Make sure you are all balanced with the placement points and elimination points, and that is how you will get the equal amount and you win it. But Arka, if I had to ask you, during the scrim phase, didn't we witness few teams who are only going in for all sort of elimination points coming your way?
Oh yes, absolutely. And I just love that kind of mindset because I'm a person who likes action from the get-go. Now, before we continue further speaking about the elimination points and the importance of having the most, let's look at the tiebreaker rule, because you know that it's going to be a very close call. So each of these teams needs to understand this. The teams, in case they all have the same amount of points, we're going to calculate the number of booyahs. So if a certain team has more booyahs than the others, then they're going to be crowned champions. if both the teams have the equal number of booyahs, or the teams on the top have equal number of booyahs with the points, then we're going to consider total eliminations. Now it doesn't stop there. Just in case, which is highly impossible, but just in case teams also have the same amount of eliminations, then we're going to step down and see who has the highest survival rank, and that team is going to walk away as champions.
And these sort of situations do arise, so this all are the rules that you had to understand to avoid anything during the victory part. But this is something that I really wanted to share at the time of format of Champion Rush. Now this is newly introduced, but it is very, very interesting. Any team on the grand finals day reaches to the marker of 80 points, then there comes a chance to end the day with the title and trophy. Here you go ahead for after reaching to 80 points, all you have to make sure is you get the booyah in the very next match. If not, again you go towards next match and you again have to make sure you get the booyah. So all the teams who reaches to the marker of 80 points stands a chance towards ending up the day. It's not necessary that there should be total of 6 maps followed by 8 maps maybe, but 80 points and followed by which you need to get a booyah to get the title of champions.
Oh, this is turning interesting, Tanya. This is turning interesting. 80 points and then a single booyah to get yourself championship. Just imagine if a team actually does that and the grand finals ends within the 3 games. But that's next to impossible. And now to make things a little more possible for others to enjoy, now they have come up with a new active skill rule as well. Now what this active skill rule says is that each and every individual can have a character which cannot be repeated by their teammate.
One active skill each. That means that it is going to bring in a lot more enthusiasm in going in and selecting something which they might not be comfortable with. Like we have witnessed where 3 players going in as a Skyler. Now we are not going to go with that. You can go Wukong, where you are going to get an elimination and immediately dismiss to a safer position and go for the second go, or maybe just heal up. Second time you go for a second player goes in for a chrono to help the teammate. So each and every unique ability is definitely going to help in to the team altogether. But here comes the game schedule for the day, which starts with one of the favorite maps and one of the oldest map, which is Bermuda, followed by the second map being Purgatory, third Alpine, pretty new to the circuit of maps, and then comes Kalahari, which stands as my favorite because it has a lot of snipers.
Yeah.
And I love long range duels. And then comes Nexterra and the randomizer Arca on the random map. Which one would you want to witness?
To be frank, I really want to challenge each and every team. I want to bring in something like Alpine or Nexterra, but on the audience perspective as well as for my own entertainment, I think I'm going to head back to Bermuda, because a basic map, everybody knows the nooks and crannies of this map, so they would want to come in and showcase once again what they're actually capable of. But if I have to ask you the same question, which map do you want to place when it comes to the random map at Game 6?
Well, usually it should be Bermuda itself, but here comes today's team list. It's Group A versus Group B today, ladies and gentlemen. In Group A, we are going to see HTG Esports, Car 98 Army, Non-Stop Gaming, Total Gaming, Team PN Rose, and TSG Army.
And then at Group B, we have the big names again coming in. We have the Assassin Army, the Boss Army, Binzed Gaming, Daisy Army, John T Gaming, as well as Team Vasio Esports. Just imagine all these big names like John T, Assassin Army and Vasio all come down to Group B, as well as Total Gaming in Group A. It's gonna be a fan clash in the chat, as well as a huge festival for all the Free Fire Max fans out there.
And let's also talk about Team Elite, PBS Gaming, Total Gaming and TSG Army have already got an upper hand in terms of experience. So we do have certain names being repetitive here who have an upper hand. They are experienced about how to play the tournament, but the teams are unique. They might have synced up recently. These are the team lineups. Team HTG comprising of Mokria, Darshan, LKS, Lawyer and Pratik. Next comes Car 98, Swastik, Farhan, Vinod, Badal, Windsmoke, Non-Stop Gaming with Manu, Anubhav, Non-Stop, Aztec and Struggle.
Absolutely, and look at what's happening at the team Total Gaming. All the big names. I'm getting nostalgia over here because we have got Delayed Fozia Jai, Mafia Bala, Insane, and TG Mafia. All these players are again gearing up to impress us all. And then comes PN Rose as well as another team. But heading on to the next group, Assassin Army, Boss Army, and Binzadet. Now, when you look at these, now I'm able to see some new faces, but a promising lineup for sure.
Next, we are going to head towards Desi Army, Jaunty Gaming, Team Vasio, and in Team Vasio, obviously, Team Vasio being the captain himself, alongside which we are going to see Anshu, Manish, Kaushik, and Predator. Predator being one of the strongest player for the team. Team Jaunty Gaming, Jaunty himself, Hemu, Ash, Wolvin, and Level Up. Talking about Hemu, one of the strongest support system of the team. If he's standing tall, there's no way team can fall. Desi Army, we have got Amit Bhai, Romeo, Warrior, Jacksaw, and Smart.
Oh yes, and moving on, I would like to see at Team Vasio right now, because I know Vasio itself is a big lion out there. He's going to be carrying 4 different predators with him, and I would love to see which among these people are actually contesting for the 20,000 rupees when it comes to the MVP, because all of these players are actually capable of attaining the maximum amount of eliminations in a single map. Now, we were discussing about this previously, Tanya, where we were explaining that how teams tend to kind of lean towards that elimination point rather than going towards the booyah point, because obviously we all know the recall towers, the vending machines, all of this comes into play, and I guess you'll also want to look out for some action, Tanya.
And it makes things interesting. Like if there are players who are going YOLO to get all the elimination points for the team, and then there still stands a room of opportunity where you're going to be called back and you reunite with your teammates and grab the title of Booyah maybe, and at least coming into the podium for every single map is equal to easily qualifying, because knockout stage is not about being the number 1. It's all about being in the top 8 so that you just move ahead to, or maybe top 6 to be precise, for all 12 maps, so that you go ahead and qualify yourself for Point Rush. And Point Rush is a game changer, and I'm very sure, Arka, you're not going to deny that.
Absolutely, you just read my mind, because Point Rush, it's not just about giving yourself an advantage into the grand finals, but it's also trying to showcase your firepower to the other teams, trying to strike fear in their hearts to say that, you know what, when it comes to the grand finals, don't dare come near to my drop, because I am really prepared for it. I know what kind of a fight I need to take, but at the same time, the big advantage which they're going to gain, which is going to be revealed to you guys very soon, that advantage itself is going to be such a confident boost when they start off the grand finals.
And it's coming into top 6, you get points, and number 1 gets 10 points, and so on and so forth until position 6. So knockout stage is never about eliminations or something as such. It is all about you need to be in top 6. That creates a question for the grand finals. If at all you do not play wisely and nicely in first few maps, you still have that extra score points where you can make sure to compensate, but then that doesn't mean you let lose yourself. It is just that you can show your backup plan immediately once you realize that those points have also been used, and the buffer is pretty much, so you are going to show some new set of skills. But these sort of changes are making things even more interesting, and I also appreciate the tournament format for the grand finals, where it is not necessary to play all together 6 maps.
Exactly.
Where we always saw that teams went passive until the final few seconds or maps. This time all they have to do is let's rush in for that 80 points and win away the title.
No, that is why, we tend to, lean towards that elimination points, because it's not about you trying to attain that booyah to stay on the top of the table. It's all about you making sure that you pick up points either by booyah or by elimination on an average of 20 to 30 in 2 to 3 games. And if you have the 10-point buffer from the rush week, then I don't think so anybody can stop you. Every single game is an opportunity for you to go and aim at the trophy itself. Every single game is an opportunity for you to gain the bragging rights of being the champion of Free Fire Max Pro League by Skyesports over here.
And let's also talk about the rosters here. Let's start with Team PVS Gaming, where I personally feel one of the strongest player in their team should be Nancy, as the strongest support as well as rusher. If we talk about Team Vasio, Predator, which I've already named, and if I had to name one more, it has to be Manish. Black Flag Army, if I had to talk about, Shanky is usually the lasting
Yeah.
surviving person. And then let's talk about Car 98 Army, where Wind Smoke gives the longest range of support, but let's not forget the way Badal performs. And he has also achieved a title of MVP during the scrims.
Absolutely, and then comes the big name, Total Gaming. You can't erase anybody's name. Fauzi Ajay has his own legacy with him. Mafia Bala, Mafia, Delete and Insane. They've always been in the scenes trying to dominate this format, dominate this game for a really long time now. After then comes Team P and Rose, right? In Team P and Rose, I've seen that KD got sometimes and Rose themselves. This is one of the teams to watch out for, according to me, because Tanya, you also know how these guys were performing when it comes to the scrims as well. They were always on the front foot when it comes to assaulting, right? Then comes the shadow shooters. This is also one of those teams who really tend to go and pick up those elimination points. And in this team, if I have to take one name, I would say Honey would be one of those players, as well as Aim God. These are the players to watch out for when it comes to PNPs.
Well, talking about P and Rose, Lewis should be the man that I personally would want to see him,
Oh
because
yes.
he's a guy who is at the front foot and gets all the elimination points on his name alone, and he is like 50% owner of the elimination points somehow. Talking about Assassin Army Esports again, we have got Honey, which you already mentioned. Now let's also come back towards one of the most renowned team again, TSG Army, and over there it's Krish usually doing all the heavy lifting for the team. Jaunty Gaming, Hemu, which we all talked during the player description. They see RNX, where Ronnie, Negi, Hassan, Adib, Arman. Now, this is one of the team where we have witnessed all the players are uniquely involved into this sort of battles.
Absolutely, but with this, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be stepping into the first map of the day. This has been the moment everybody have been waiting for. The players, the creators, the audience themselves. This is going to be the first map. The map of Bermuda and the flight path couldn't have been better than this. Starting all the way from the side of... wait, am I reading this right? It's ending towards the hangar region, and everybody's going to have a great advantage.
And the flight path being from west towards the east hangar. And now here we go. Total Gaming, as always, towards the home ground of Mills, and they are the only contestants there. Nobody sharing the ground. Keratin being owned by Assassin Army, obviously. Vasio Esports heading way far away towards Rim Nam village, and Binzer near to the hangar. Mill is all owned by Total Gaming. They're not sharing the grounds with anyone. It is all towards their ownership. So this is the perfect timing where they're going to get a lot of loot. Let's go towards HTG versus Jaunty. Jaunty Gaming. Jaunty will be the first man to be taken down, and first elimination comes into the hands of HTG.
Absolutely, but at the same time, Jaunty, I don't think so they're going to stop. They are on top. They want to get up to the level, trying to go with the dual vector. Trying to lure out Mockery down on his knees, but he immediately gets the revival. The right kind of combination being used, but I don't think the Gaming is going to let them breathe. They've got 2 eliminations already in their name, and guess what? The teammates are immediately going to get revived as well. Now, this is how the game gets so much more interesting, ladies and gentlemen. The revival, this is going to bring them back into the lobby right away, giving them another opportunity to take down the very player who took them down. The revenge is going to be the answer for them. Whereas on the other side, we're able to see that Car 98 and BZs are also into some kind of connection.
And this action is going hard for Team K98, because they were supposedly to take down entire team after taking down Gyan Shubho. Gyan Shubho is back on his foot thanks to the support coming in from Ninja, and so does Farhan. He also gets his revive. So at this point of time, early stages, how many elimination points can you procure is the only question. But let's also talk about Badal here. He's the only man standing amidst Bin Z Gaming team, and how is he surviving? That is actually questionable. I believe he should be chasing out of sight. All 12 teams intact, all 48 players intact, and using the vehicles to move out of sight, and he chose the right path here.
Absolutely. Gyan Shubho, one of my favorite players when it comes to the side of BZs, because they have been playing it perfectly, if you ask me. This team, they completely understand the strength and the weaknesses, right? And they have to just play the don't do so. Binoculars being used, HDG using every single character, every single power properly. Make sure that they gain information. Jaunty Gaming, they did not want to go towards them yet again. Even though they had two eliminations, even though they were the people to damage the side of Jaunty Gaming, it's just that they didn't allow them to go into recovery. Yes, they've got an opportunity over here. All they have to do is go in and get that loot from the arsenal.
Perfect chamber to get the loot, but do they have the key to it? Did you see anybody
Exactly.
entering? That still remains a question here. But shipyard is all the answers against DA and non-stop gaming. Well, DC Army versus non-stop gaming. Warrior gets shut down and immediately traded by Struggle here, and it's going to be three-man players still surviving, and Warrior will get a revive. That was pretty quick of Aztec to immediately revive his teammate, but Manu on the long range of support, he'll make sure to not let the player be revived, but it's pretty too long. Not even throwables are going to help him right now. He goes towards the prone position to heal himself, and again, be strong enough to get the player, to get himself stronger enough to take different sides.
Now look at how non-stop gaming are trying to strangle the opponents. There's one player about the sniper tower, and he knows that his position is going to be the key factor for the team. All he's going to do is give information as well. As soon as they get an option from the other side, get that confirmation, and slow and steady, we're able to see that non-stop gaming one flag after third guy high in the sky. Even though they tried to put it down, they were not able to, counteract anything. But Total Gaming, way too close to the side. The two good old bulls are locked on, and this time on crazy face off, because obviously the UAS is also in the sky to reveal everybody's location.
And this sort of position reveal is going to give an advantage to Team Total Gaming here. They are going all in to get the eliminations. Delete will be revived in no time, and immediately it's the fight of the Goblins where Insane gets the upper hand and he's stuck now to die in no time, and also gets the elimination point. In red, fighting for number one here. Assassin Army with one elimination, fighting plan. Team Total Gaming, and there's nothing that can stop them, and it's going to be Darpik, who is going to make sure he blows the final shot and takes down the entire existence of Total Gaming. And thanks to the split, the team is surviving right now because of the revival points.
Absolutely, Jai all out in the open. He tried to take a big gamble, but failed miserably. As he gets knocked out, teammate obviously will have to get revived with him. As Mafia, the last man, look at how he's going to be targeted. Honey wanted to end the side of Total Gaming as quickly as possible. But where will Mafia head to? How far is the recall tower? That's the big question. Just in case Mafia does go to the nearest token shop or a recall tower, is there anybody waiting, baiting him out, that they can put an end to Total Gaming? But before that, BC is again getting into another kerfuffle over here. Bo trying to do his best and making 2 shots, but it seems like he needs to keep himself busy. A close range battle as TSG have come way too close to comfort right now against the side of BZs.
Pinzette, they are all stacked up in one small shack. How long will they be able to survive? Because Ayush for the window piece itself is delivering a lot of damage and is also within one spray is able to take down 2 players. 5 eliminations on the name of Team TSG. Now they are playing incredibly well as compared to what we witnessed in scrims, and we talked about it. Scrims is not something we should be counting in for. It's the day one that is going to decide about which team is participating in which way. For now, it's only one team that's decimated. It's Binz. 11 teams still in the lobby. Team TSG against Boss Army. Boss Army's strongest map is Bermuda, and they are few of the best teams who can definitely attain Booyah. Mafia using the vehicle to reach Marty, but I believe it's going to be blue. You might check it out.
Absolutely, but I really am happy to see that Mafia is right now using the Riptide, the Skylar, and it shows that he's going to be playing at the backlines. He just wants to make sure, using the Skylar capability, the Riptide rhythm, he's going to just remove the glue walls, allowing the others of his teammate to come in and go in for the right kind of action, the right kind of firepower in a close range battle. But TSG, after 6 eliminations, I believe that they're being a little bit overconfident over here, because they're blindly rushing in towards the side of BA. And let me tell you this, Black Army, they're not a team to mess with. Boss Army.
Boss Army. Yes, they are just waiting for the revival of the player who was down, but he won't be allowed. It's Krish who will make sure to finish down Boss Army. 2 players remaining, and he's the leader who is pinned down while using the launch pad, and it's all about last man Licky. How long will he survive? If he survives enough by the wrath of Team TSG, he might be able to resurrect his entire team. But will he be allowed? Because Team TSG is just trying to move out of sight. They don't want to fight Krish here, or Krish is using his camouflage ability so well that he's not spotted there and he is left alone.
I mean, that I believe TSG should have gone in for that final elimination, should have headed on to that player, because in case now it revives his teammates, that's going to be a very big problem for the opponents. Because in the path of redemption, when you have nothing to lose, all you're going to do is head down to the opponents, make sure you either make them weak or you put them down completely. As on the other side, PN Rose, one of the most aggressive teams we have seen so far, is now trying to play a little safe. And you were speaking about one of the players from PN Rose who was supposed to be playing this game, and it seems like he's not in the lobby right now.
Well, I was talking about Lewis, and he is definitely playing, but he
Luis?
has not yet
Okay,
started
okay.
playing.
Then my bad.
And Clock Tower and Skyesports.
But at the same time, Clock Tower, it's starting to brew up to be a bigger battlefield than we thought it is. Vasio from one side, you have Car 98 on the other side, K98 on the other side, and both these teams have there are two players teams in this small vicinity. But at the same time, let's not forget that the circle itself is come to such an extent that Vasio esports are on the very corner of this circle, and that's going to be very important. Assassin on the other side has spotted some birds in the sky, and they're trying to take some shots, and I wonder who is trying to make it inside the circle. Whereas on the other side, Total Gaming, they've also tried to make it inside the circle, and all of a sudden the T1 lobby vibes are starting to kick in. Binoculars being used, trying to gain as much information as possible from the side of Assassin Army. Now this is how you execute a game. You need to understand your topography. You need to understand who's close by. Once you have info, then you can strategize. Knowledge is power, and as of now, Assassin Army is trying to do that. Shots being taken against Honey. Mafia was so close. Guess it was the Wukong bush ability which he was using, that's why he was not detected. But all of a sudden it's a gatekeeping scenario. Insane on the other side strikes perfectly. It's going to be Mafia from a distance with that sniper who's able to put him down. Honey, there's no way they're going to allow him to survive. Have their walls against the back, because it's the blue zone as well as Total Gaming who's trying to fire against them. Total Gaming, look at the way they're controlling the corner of the circle. The gatekeeping scenario coming perfect from this team. As Assassin now will have to take a longer route. But can they do it? Do they have enough time? Because as we look at the mini-map, Assassin Army are trying to spread around towards the peak region, and Total Gaming, they're converging towards the circle, and for sure, Tanya, they are going to make Assassin Army pay a lot.
Well, right now, the players who are going to play is Vasio Esports maybe. They are facing the wrath of Throwable via K98 jump and shoot. They're making some shots, missing some. And here comes the change, and here comes the pain. M79, the grenade launcher. This sort of Throwable might be able to deliver a lot of damage, or even potential to entirely delete the existence. But they're not able to connect. On the other side of the map, Team Jaunty Gaming has been eliminated by PN Rose. And here we go ahead. A good blue wall cover, giving good action, trying to move out of sight. But these sort of decays for blue wall is not giving any sort of better positioning for R98 to take an entry towards the safer place, which is Clock Tower for now.
I mean, you know what's more interesting over here? It's how they're using the glue wall melters. one player can have only 3 melters, but look at how many they have deployed. It seems like now they're going to be losing those inventory, and eventually all they have to do is wait for Vasya to do some kind of a mistake, but I don't think so that's going to be easy, because Kaushik's split with this team seems to be perfect right now. He's doing the hard work by throwing the globals, restricting the opponents from making it inside the circle, and then comes the FGL24. A perfect combination being used over here. Duffy comes into the circle. He's trying to restrict the opponents from making it through, but can they make it? Can he survive for the longest time possible as Vasio comes in from a different angle? Max 7 does do the job. One more player down and the last 2 players standing. I don't know whether they'll be able to make it inside the circle.
I felt Badal should not be able to make it inside the circle for sure, and it's going to be Vasio Esports surviving the battle against K98, and will Anshu be able to revive? Oh no, he doesn't get the opportunity, but Vasio Esports will survive, and they're going to heal up and get ready. But Team PSG, after eliminating one spot, they're heading for the second as well. Non-stop gaming, struggling hard, struggling bad, and it was an entire team takedown. Non-stop gaming eliminated with only 5 teams remaining, 14 players. A long range fight from Siddharth comes in with the sniper in his hand. He will be able to take down Mafia. What a crispy angle and what a crispy shot.
Absolutely well said. I think Siddharth, his position needs to be compromised just in case his team gets taken down, but I don't think so it's going to be easy for them, because the hard cover, the high ground advantage, everything is right now favoring the side of TSG. And when you look at the mini-map also, we're able to understand the complete control of the circle is in the hands of TSG. A 2v2 split which can backfire for them, but it seems like they know exactly what they're doing. Pian Rose trying to enter inside this circle will now want Total Gaming to concentrate completely on TSG Gaming, but Mafia doesn't let that happen. 8 eliminations already with this team, and Total Gaming are looking strong as they look forward to take down the side of TSG.
Monster Truck also brought along to bring in as a cover towards, because it's the final circle. You don't get much of hard compound except for few blue walls and maybe few rocks. On the lower ground, we do have Team PSG, Vasco Esports last man, trying to not involve in any sort of fight and reach position 2 for the placement points. It's a 4v4 scenario, and Fauzi Ajay taking the charge, trying to go up front. Skylar being used, Forables being deployed. Blue wall will vanish in few seconds, and Fauzi Ajay will be spotted because Krish is trying to get on the top of this big rock on the way. Legend will not get enough cover through the blue wall, and he will be delivered a lot of damage, but Mafia on the counter. Siddharth with the sniper support, and Team Total Gaming losing players, and the last man, and it's the last man. Anshu is surviving for quite a while, and this is exactly what was expected. Anshu will be able to take down one player, and here comes the end where PSG takes away the very first booyah of this event. Free Fire, that Skyesports Pro PSG Army ruling the map of Copa.
Oh my goodness, TSG Army, they played everything perfectly. You speak about the boxes which they put for themselves. 1, try to have some hard cover inside the circle. 2, try to hold a split so that nobody can enter inside the circle. Every single box had a green tick inside it. But this were the final moments of the game, and Krish played it perfectly as he had that M590, the shotgun, which is so precise when it comes to close range. And Siddharth, who was an amazing sniper throughout the game, knew his job perfectly. All he had to do was maintain distance from his teammate, give the right kind of backup, and make sure to eliminate the opponents who are trying to, peek in and give a little bit of a problem for his teammates. So everybody's roles were also played perfectly, and they were rewarded with the best booyah so far.
Yes, and this is just the start, ladies and gentlemen. There's much more action that is pending, not only for the day, but until 16th of March, where we are going to have a grand finals for this event. But coming towards this particular map, I really like the way how Vasio Esports, last man standing, did not engage in any fight. He was realizing that right now it's of more importance to just survive, and he did not intervene as a third party to get those free elimination points when the players were already down and delivering damage to get those points. He made sure I want my 9 points of placement by hook or by crook, and that I can only do it by not engaging in anything and be a silent player, and that paid him the rewards of getting the #2.
I mean, every single moment of this game kind of brought me a little bit of a nostalgia moment, because Vasio were always experts in trying to get that position point. No matter what situation they are put under, they always tend to survive until the final moments of the game. Total Gaming, until the final circle, they try to stay silent, and once they understand now is the opportunity for them to strike, they strike in so hard. TSG were always well known for their close range battles. They've also performed well, and looking at the highlights, this was where Total Gaming were completely taken down, but still the kind of comeback they've made so far is amazing. And TSG legend, this man has been phenomenal.
He did not stop until the end. And talking about Krish as well, the escape plan that he created while they were under strong problems, this is the man who again resurrected entire teammates and made sure to get the booyah. Talking about Assassin Army, they did struggle, and Jaunty Gaming were entirely wiped off in matter of minutes against PN Rose. Car 98, they did pick up a fight within the clock tower until the zone when it was shrinking in, but they couldn't survive against Vasio Esports. And the last man from Vasio survived until not even a 4-squad army could. It was TSG versus Team Total Gaming, where TSG nailed it in every single aspect, where they weren't allowed to rush in, and all the long range weapons were used except for one shotgun. Here comes Anshu. He survived strongly enough to get the position 2, but most valuable player for Skyesports Pro League Free Fire Max for the game number 1 of Bermuda is TSG legend with 6 elimination points and 8 assists, 2574. Arka, usually what we see is more of elimination points and less of assists. What sort of a supportive player he is, that it's totally twisted.
Absolutely, the damage speaks for itself. Look at that, 2500 damage. It's not just about the 6 eliminations, but as you correctly pointed out, the 8 assists, which is not only about you gaining those eliminations, you try to be the start for the team. It's about the whole team trying to shine and make sure they become the champions. That kind of a mindset I'm able to see in the TSG Army's team right now. It's not just legend. I'm sure the rest of his teammates would also have been contributed equally when it comes to elimination points, but the booyah, the big chunk of 12 points, has been snatched away by them. This doesn't end here, right? Because there were several teams who were also concentrating on getting those elimination points, and once we look at the match standings, it's going to be much more clear for us that what's the point difference between TSG and the other teams who were trying to catch up to them.
And it was a tough time given by Team TSG. Not everybody could chase them very strongly. Sure, Team Total Gaming gave whatever the best they had, but the rush coming in with the long range support, and Team TSG could not be stopped there. Let's also talk about the team feature right now. It is obviously the team who took away the booyah, and Team TSG, where we are seeing Legend getting 6 elimination on his name, Ayush also getting 6 elimination on his name, and coming towards Siddharth, who got 5 eliminations, Krish getting 3 eliminations as well. But look at the damage, which is very well distributed. Let's also not miss to talk about the assists coming in from Ayush as well as Krish.
Exactly, and that shows that the whole team knew their roles. At one side, we were able to see that Krish was on the front line trying to do as much damage as possible to the team which was there. We saw how Siddharth was always in the back lines, always having that high ground advantage. And with this sniper, he was so precise that with minimum damage and less assist, he was able to not only knock down players, but immediately convert those into eliminations as well. So same goes for the side of Ayush. So the team looks pretty strong, but the weakness of this team, we'll have to wait and watch who's going to crack it down and put them down in the next game itself.
And I believe this is we call like fists of fury, all 5 fingers tightly fisting and giving the fury to a hard time to every other team in the lobby. Team Total, look at the total points, buddy. 32 points, Arka, which is already very, very massive, and 80 points is the marker. If this sort of gameplay is spotted in 3 consecutive maps, we might end up in 3 maps itself. But coming towards the scorecard, where Desi Army will only be the team with 1 point, as well as Boss Army, 1 team, 2 armies at the rock bottom. I believe, and I'm very sure of, they're going to stand up, buckle up in the upcoming few maps.
Absolutely, the path of redemption. I'm really shocked to see Jaunty Gaming amongst the bottom 5, but I'm pretty impressed by TSG. I knew that this is one of those teams which have the capability of getting a booyah from the get go itself, but 20 eliminations, that I was not expecting. Total Gaming and Vasio Esports, both of these teams have been a little clinical when it comes to their gameplay. They have a very good balance between the position points, placement points, as well as the elimination points, so they know exactly what they're doing. Whereas on the other side, I know TSG. I hope that they're able to replicate this one more and show us how quickly a team can get to 80 points.
It was all about surviving, because
Yeah,
you did manage to see, right, whenever they felt there was a threat, they did not just go all in and try to show some sort of
exactly.
ego that we can win any duel that comes across us. It was like, no, there is an escape plan, let's move out of here, we will revive, we'll get again best of the loot and again come back in action. Where Team Total Gaming were already surviving, had the best loot, it was a 4v4 scenario in the final circle in top
Yeah.
3, and fortunately or unfortunately, it was the rock cover that gave a little bit of advantage to Team TSG here, and they made the best out of it.
I mean, they did fight and take it for themselves. And not only that, the one thing which I like about TSG in this game was they were not greedy behind eliminating teams. Because there was a point of time where there was one player who ran far away, the solo player, and TSG had a very good army to go and take him down and get that complete team elimination. But they stuck onto that building. They knew the importance of having a hard cover inside any kind of circle, and due to which they were able to attain that booyah. But with things like this all starting to show up, I believe every single team will now start to go back to their textbook basics to understand how to play this game. Because no matter how much eliminations you can rake up, how many times you can get revived and come back into this lobby, it's all about trying to compose, trying to have all 4 men in the final circle.
And more the merrier, and more the chances of getting the booyah. So sure, you
Yeah.
have to make sure you outnumber any opponents within the lobby by surviving as a squad strong team, and that is how you win the booyah. TSG stands a prime example already in the very first map itself. Now next map is going to be the map of Purgatory, the map of 3 islands within an island moat house, where I personally feel we are going to witness the first elimination if flight path supports.
Moat House. Why do I feel it's Ski Lodge? From the info I've gained from you till today, Ski Lodge has always been a hot drop for two major teams. I really don't want to break the ice over here. I want the audience to witness what's going to happen at Ski Lodge. But as you said, Moat House as well. Total Gaming have this small affair going on with another team. So hopefully we'll be able to see some action. But the final circle is what I would love to see. I want the final circle to happen somewhere in the open, or including a little bit of water here and there, so that things can get so much more interesting for us. But the players, my god, they literally be cursing for me saying this.
And we get to see that water fights where floaters are used, guns are used, blazing guns within the water routes. Well, that is going to be very, very cinematic, and we are dreaming way much more than
Yeah.
expected. If at all the gods of circle support us both together, then only there stand some chances where we are going to see the water routes involved. Still, we do always expect something which we want to see, but it is going to bring in some hard time for 12 teams participating, for which they might even curse us a bit, because there not only stands a chance for a good cover, but also not even being able to position strongly and firmly to take a duel.
I mean, Tanya, I think we are safe right now, because the audience are also going to be thinking similarly. They'll be like, you know what? Don't worry about the curses. You guys go ahead and try to predict things. Even we'll try to manifest a circle like that, because at the end of the day, this is the pro league. Every single player out there needs to be prepared for all kinds of scenarios which is going to be coming up. But before we head into the next map, I would like to ask you predictions for the next game itself, because Paths of Redemption, we have seen many teams and the top teams. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I do see some changes coming in from the teams who are in the mid sector, not the bottom one. Team Jaunty Gaming, Team P and Rose should be able to level up with their playing skills. And this is going to be map of Purgatory, where the rotations are going to be the key role of functioning, surviving, and getting those extra elimination points while not losing our players. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the very second map, Purgatory, for Skyesports Pro League Free Fire, giving any importance to the mainland and giving all the importance towards the western land, as well as the bottom the the bottom lands, which is
Oh,
obviously the southern land.
Absolutely, but I just love this flight path starting off from Mill towards Marble Work. Somewhere I feel that now Total Gaming will have to think about the secondary drop location. Now TSG will have to be careful because towards that Brasilia region, even though they'll be, trying to make it their home, Vasio Esports is just trying to pick up guns and immediately try to shoot down these big birds. HTG as well. They've gone in for a long route. Total Gaming, even they're going for a longer route, and the circle immediately makes sure that it's a disappointment for all the teams who want to go behind the horizon to pick up some loot for themselves.
Is like crucial time where you do not want to engage in any fight. As soon as I say that Brasilia, one of the most contested area right now by TSG as well as Vasio Esports and Legend, making sure of I was the MVP of the previous game. I do not want to get eliminated. And on the other side, Krish has already got different plans where he's going to take shut down Boss Army player Licky as well as going for the second one. He does have the SMG for the close range player. Blue Wall will be destroyed as well, and Krish becomes second player of Boss Army. These are pretty quick elimination points gained by TSG Army. Now, this is some sort of momentum coming in from them, which they built in previous map.
Absolutely agreed on that. I just love the way this team is playing, and look at their roles. They understood it's Krish who's going to be taking the lead when it comes to those fights. It could have been anybody else, but they chose Krish because he's so good when it comes to the close range battles and the conversion. A 1v2 in the beginning of the game shows that there's a lot of confidence. Delete comes in from the other side. He's got the deadly AK. He's not going to miss much. Immediately puts him down and gets the confirmation as well. Amit Bhai from DA immediately heads away from the lobby. Now Delete. He needs the key, my friend. You need the key, and then only you'll be able to open the vault.
Boss Army losing to players, gaining again. 47 players in the lobby. Team Total Gaming, they are on the verge of still looting, procuring the best of the weaponaries to deliver the best of damages and elimination points earned immediately. And this is Purgatory is going to be a slow map as compared to Bermuda, obviously for a reason where you not only have to survive. And PN Rose on the grounds of Central takes me to a moment where Vasio always used to land in the on the grounds of Central and try to own it, and he used to always be victorious there. But as the time changes, team evolves. Right now Vasio on the grounds of Brasilia, and during during the scrim practice as well, we did spot him near to the Brasilia area until the final circle. Now there comes some revenge. Boss Army taking fights against Team TSG.
Oh, Boss Army. Seems like they're also on the receiving end of things. But what's happening at the Ski Lodge region? Because the circle was a little away from it, we're unable to see any teams going for a fight. And immediately, look at what he's going to do. He's trying to get away from that position. He's also trying to give away the info to the opponents. But that's not going to be of any help as TSG Army, once they have their eyes set on a team, there's no stopping them for sure. They know to get that knock. They know to convert that into eliminations. Whereas on the other side, non-stop gaming. This team is turning out to be a little bit of a disappointment for me.
Boss Army again back on foot. The revenge that they were planning could not end up well, but Bin Zaidia pushing in against Manu from Non-Stop Gaming. It is a 4v1 scenario. There was no way he could have survived that. Not even a chrono could have saved him there. Bin Zaid Gaming just pushing in. And Vasio's Anshu again giving the revival to his teammates. Campsite is the place where they are holding on very strongly. Manu trying to get the cover from the glue wall. How long will he be able to survive there? Healing himself up. He's the sniper for his team, but right now all he possesses is the close range gun, and he will be put to sleep by Shubho.
Shubho, a perfect grenade. He waited it, he timed it perfectly, and he knew where to be placed. Another grenade is going to be tossed in non-stop. Max 7, can you do the magic? No, it's not, because Shubho from the other side comes up with the M590 answer, and with a headshot will be putting him down. Is this the elimination of a team out here? It seems not, as they have one of the players somewhere far away who's gone in for the revivals. And again, BZRB, they need to be very careful, because at any given point of time, we can expect their teammates to come in over here and put them down as well.
Still 12 teams intact. Already on the timer, we can see 5 minutes have passed by. But talking about elimination points as well, Binzed and TSG, Binzed Gaming and TSG Army having 4 points each, followed by Boss, Car 98, PN Rose, Total Gaming, and Nonstop Gaming, getting 1 point on their name. Talking about Car 98, they have got a fight. One player is knocked down. Will he be revived? Still remains a question here because it has not yet been revived on the grounds of Marble Works. Here comes Duffy just pushing him through the blue wall, got one knock against Wind Smoke and will not delay the confirmation.
Absolutely, Assassin Army. I've never seen them be so aggressive in the get-go itself. And look at what they're going to do. They're going to convert this knocks. They're going to make sure K98 now heads back into the lobby. The close range battle continues as Dafiq, he's got 3 eliminations already. Make it 4. And I do believe with this, that's goodbye for a team from this lobby. It's going to be K98, who might be the first team to get eliminated in the map of Purgatory.
There's always a ratio of split which doesn't allow the elimination as of now. 12 teams still remains intact, and Dafik definitely gains 4 pointers for his team, and which is way more important during the final few counts. Team HTG with the cover of the rock have got an entire information about 4 players standing across the road or maybe across this caravan in front of this site. They are looking forward to push it, and it's a very clean open push, nothing hidden, nothing doing through the cover, through the long range roads or something. They are hitting the W and they want to make sure to get the squad wipe. But do you think that's easy? Because they're not aware the team that they're rushing in for are the titans within the lobby, which is Team Total Gaming.
Team Total Gaming. And the deadliest part is Mafia is going to be the first point of contact. And from a distance, we saw what Mafia did with his sniper in the previous game. He doesn't miss much. And once he's locked onto his target, he's going to make sure that he makes them pay. So they need to be careful. And Assassin Army, they've been using the drone to gain some information. They have something in mind for sure. Yes, there it is. After they get to know there's nobody nearby to backstab them, that is when they use the launchers to head on to the nearest high ground and probably head towards the circle itself.
The circle is pretty clean right now. There's nowhere close to what we both were anticipating with, and it's covering almost all the big parts of mainland, and it is the launch pad that will help the immediate attaining the center of the circle in Brasilia, where Vasio Esports were from the start, are nowhere to be spotted here. Instead, Total Gaming Team PSG here, and what sort of an entry was it? They will be able to give a knock, get a knock, and Team PSG Legends lost one of the players, and this was a big sort of soccer here, but your team PSG will shut down an entire team. Desi Army. They did not have a good map of Bermuda. They had a bad end in the map of Purgatory.
Speak about being bad. The badass of the lobby are again woken up. TSG Army. Oh my goodness. Legend 21. The final 2 frags which he took with that shotgun. Oh, that was commendable. I really want to see that replay. I'll be waiting to see it in the highlights. But what a way to rush. Having a grenade launcher in hand, head right to the opponent's face, toss it right there, and then make sure that you use the shotguns to clear things off. Couldn't have asked for a better kind of gameplay. But Jonty, it seems like he's some kind of a hill station, completely covered. He's as warm as he could be. I guess it's the chill of the games which is just keeping him cold.
Yeah, they are near to the riverside. There's some sort of breeze, and they don't want to move out of hard compound. Or maybe they are
Tanya
just.
being smart, guys. Tanya being smart.
I'm just talking about the weather on the map of Purgatory, but it's again TSG versus Vasio Esports. Vasio Esports on the roofs, TSG on the lower grounds. Are they aware about the Predator's positioning? Because he's going to be the game changer between 2 teams fighting against each other. All they have spotted are 3 players on the roofs. Little do they know there is a player Predator who is just taking care of other 3 men on the roof. If at all, Team TSG looks forward to just push in. Sure, this is best of the compounds of Brasilia, where every everybody wants to own, and everybody wants to stand into a position where they don't get eliminated. They've got the hard cover to work out with, and there is a breather, there is a pause, and there is also going to be an entry of Team Jaunty Gaming. So it's going to be a strong trio fighting against each other for the same grounds of Brasilia, which will be dodged by the circle. Now Vasio Esports is out of the safer zone.
Asio Esports, the zone prediction going a little off. I don't think so that's going to be a problem for them. All they have to do is try to understand how to stay away from TSG Army, because in the previous game as well, Vasio Esports were put in the same scenario where they had to face off the side of TSG and they had to face a lot of problems, and there goes another player in deep troubles as TSG Army Krish. He flew in the air, or he rather got revived, and he was trying to come in, and immediately non-stop gaming as well. They saw there was a player trying to fly in, and they're going to be pushing in as well. TSG Army being a patty in the sandwich right now. Will Vasios trying to push in and strike when the iron is hot.
TSG struggling bad right now because they are getting a lot of shots from Team Vasio Esports as well as Jaunty Gaming now. Total Gaming also emerging in the midst, and PN Rose Lewis is trying to take fight with Non-Stop Gaming and is able to get Sahil as well as Lewis are able to get one elimination each. But let's talk about line in the room. Team TSG in the center of the circle, where they are not only going to fight against Vasio Esports, and Vasio is being very, very passive about it. And on the other side, PN Rose made sure to shut down Non-Stop Gaming. Vasio going step by step in the hard compounds of Team TSG, and they are yet not spotted. Throwables are going to bring in anything of advantage as of now.
I really like the way Vasio slowly made it inside the circle, where we thought that TSG might be a little bit of a problem for them. Vasio slowly made sure that they conquer one building at a time, not giving away the location. But yes, they'll also have to watch out for a UAV or probably a drone which is going to be deployed to give away their locations. Hopefully that's not going to happen. Whereas on the other side, Jaunty Gaming, I really love this positioning as well, because the circle which is going to be forming up next is going to be a big problem. TSG on the other side, they understood Vasio is close by and they're going ahead, take this fight. Predator is going to be falling back with a little bit of pains already, with a little bit of firing already. Vasio, he wants to step forward. Push on the other side is going to fall back. Will try to heal himself up. TSG Army, they want to cover them from two different directions. Are the throwables going to be coming in? Vasio deep troubles, but Kaushik, somebody somehow been able to take a fight against the side of Rishi and put him down as well.
And here we go, Vasio Esports versus Team TSG. Who survives until the end? Vasio Esports last man, Anshu, the one who was surviving until the end of phase in the Bermuda. Will he be able to bring in? No! TSG wouldn't allow Vasio Esports to survive furthermore. They gave them an open invitation towards their hard compound, but they wouldn't allow them to move away from them. They wiped them off. But on the other side, let's talk about Boss Army, who are also on the edge of the safer circle. But there is an enemy team right above them, which is Team Total Gaming.
Wait, what? What did I just read on the elimination feed? A grenade trying to take down the complete squad of Jaunty Gaming. And whereas on the other side, Shanku is immediately going to rush in to try and take down the side of Total Gaming, who immediately changed their position as well. Chrono also going to be used. Insane, the last of the players to walk in to give troubles for the side of Total Gaming, is going to be on the receiving end of things as well. And with this, Boss Army also gets eliminated. And Jaunty Gaming, the last man standing, is trying to survive for the longest time possible. There it is. Tatsuya comes into play. He's going to fall back after running away from his teammates. But how long can he survive? Not much. As Darshan or Gyan from a distance is going to come in to end his miseries. And Jaunty Gaming gets eliminated at #7 position.
6 teams in the lobby with 20 players. HTG playing on the circle. Same goes for Total Gaming. It's all about Team PN Rose in the center of the circle. And PN Rose, a very wise prediction. They are the only team who are on the safer circle, and they're fighting against Team Total Gaming. On the course, it's going to be Assassin Army who is eliminated. Sahil takes down Insane, but there's no confirmation yet. As soon as I say that, it's going to be AK immediately shutting him down. It's a 3-player army now for Team Total Gaming. Ajay, the man is down. Delete is down. The Mafia is trying to give the best of the five possible, but will it be possible? Look at TSG trying to get those free kills on the knocked players. Now they are playing pretty smart here.
smartness it is. You need to be smart with the circle like this, as there's very limited hard compound, and two teams have already made it their homes. Look at how P and Rose is trying to play this. PC's on the other side as well. Four teams in the lobby. TSG Army, the rulers of the previous map, have now come in closer towards the side of P and Rose. They need to be careful because they can be tagged in from a distance, as well as BN, not far away, have already known the location of TSG Gaming. And TSG still try to gain as much information as possible. The best part is they don't stay in one place. They keep moving around and not give away their location.
They are going very slow. They are waiting for the circle shift about who is going to get what advantage, or nobody is going to get advantage. Once that is very clear in their eyes, they will start initiating some or the other fight. It's a monster truck who is involved for four teams, 12 players, HTG only on the other side. On the rooftops. Right now, if I had to name one team who has the upper hand on getting some elimination points, it's Team TSG.
TSG, but I feel somewhere it can be Team HTG as well, because they've got a double sniper setup coming in from both the players. I can see a Woodpecker, I can see an M82B in their hand. Whereas TSG on the other side are concentrating more on those close range battles. The shotguns has been their priority, apart from Krish. As you can see, Krish is going to stay on top of that building for a brief period of time. And P and Rose on the other side, yes, they've got a hard compound for themselves. They'll be the last team to step out of this building. In case they do step out early, then they'll have to face two teams simultaneously. And hopefully, we'll be able to see some real triple threat match, or a probably Mexican standoff, three-way Mexican standoff anytime soon.
Well, my eyes are on Hello Telugu Gamers. The way they are just holding in, we are not part of your three teams brutal fight. We want to stay safe. We want to get those placement points, and we will survive until the circle shrinks in. And once all the players are already struggling with the damage coming in from blue zone, so they are just being patient with their position. And talking about Team TSG, they will be the team to gain the maximum amount of elimination points here, because from here they are not only going to have a view over Team Hello Telugu Gamers, but also the teams who are going to rush to beneath them, a few of which to be named are WinZ Game as well as P and Rose. Once they start to move out of the compound, Team TSG will have enough time to take a shot and get those elimination points. Now it's testing my patience. Nobody wants to move an inch, but this is battle royale. You need to be patient enough where you are able to get the number one position by bagging those booyah points.
Absolutely, but THG, I saw an airborne being used. That means binoculars. One of those things they're going to be using when the time is right to gain as much information as possible as to who is inside the circle. It's going to be the story from one side. The blue has already started to do a lot of damage. Look at what happens. The blue wall melt is going to be the primary thing. Korea trying to make the center TSP. They believe my enemy is my friend, and that's why they are allowing the other two to fight right now. And when they find somebody vulnerable, that is when they're going to go for the fight. The center of the circle is completely filled with blue wall melters, and I don't think so teams are going to be. It's going to be easy for teams to put in blue walls and have control of this map.
Well, this is my love for the map of Purgatory, where the fights are all in open and blue walls are being destroyed in every way possible with the blue wall melters. Team TSG are very close to taking away Booyah once again with 3 man standing and 15 elimination points. WinZ Gaming trying to get the cover up, and so does P and Rose. Legend going in, right, giving a good shot on the face of WinZ themselves. Two players only remaining. Zone is going to shrink in any time soon, and the center of the circle goes in the name of two teams, Team TSG and Team P and Rose. TSG trying to shut WinZ. P and Rose, a squad strong team, only squad strong team, is trying to rush against Team TSG.
TSG, they need to be careful because they've just got 2 men standing or make it 3. As of now, Krish goes in closer. He tries to tag off the side of Lewis, but he's going to be failing miserably. Rose all of a sudden having a great advantage over here. The man advantage is going to help them a lot. Legend is missing few shots, finally connects 1 or 2 as well. No revival coming through, and Legend understands it's important for him right now to pick up those eliminations, and ultimately gets taken down. And a beautiful booyah fall into the hands of PN Rose. An amazing gameplay coming in from their side. The execution was important to stay alive with all 4 men standing in the final circle. Let others fight, try to come in from different angles, and then concentrate on that booyah. An amazing gameplay, an amazing showcase of talent.
Amazing gameplay for sure. Team P and Rose did it everything that was needed here. If we had to summarize it, squad strong team using using the blue walls in the way which cannot be destroyed, going in for the players who are fighting with somebody else, typically third partying in the final circle, and that is exactly what the team needed. This time it was all about one player Legend trying to go against me, which stood no chance, and it is Lewis who shuts down Legend, and with massive 18 elimination points, Team TSG again spotted on position 2. If there is a name to consistency today, it is all about Team TSG. But talking about P and Rose, they survived well, they fought well, and they got well.
Absolutely, and they were the silent lurkers in the lobby, if you have to ask me. They were the slithering snake. They knew that they had the compound for themselves. All they did was try to block off all the openings so that nobody can enter inside the building. And once they understood that now everybody will have to make it inside the circle, that is when they never stayed at one point inside of that small circle. They kept rotating, coming around teams, and once they understood we have to take down the weaklings first, that is when they concentrated on them and then headed on towards TSG. Whereas TSG, the aggressive front did not help them that much. It became a little bit of an overconfidence, but I do believe that they'll be learning quickly from their mistakes, and in the upcoming games we can expect them to be more consistent than what they are right now.
Well, talking about Team HTG, they were very slow. They felt that circle
Yeah.
might be favorable on their side, and other 4 teams will rush and we will get all the elimination points. But circle forgetting where they see army was immediately eliminated.
No, I really wanted to see Total Gaming trying to survive this game, because it seemed like they had a upper hand every single time they got into a fight. But somewhere in between, they did get caught off guard. Whereas Non-Stop Gaming, the team which was looking unstoppable when it comes to the streams, it seems like their strategy has been read, and the counter strategy seems to be perfect from the opponent, and they have been doing well. Whereas Assassin Army, from all different directions, making sure that they make the opponent pay. And this was the moment where I felt Assassin Army with the cold-hearted rushers. Whereas on the other side, speaking about rushers, this was one of an interesting affair where PSG Army, they were on the verge of getting faced with a big blow, but eventually recovered from it. And same goes for Vasu Esports. They knew how to take down TSG. They took down almost 2 players. Then after that, they made such a big blunder that TSG Army were able to not only come back into this game, but also make it into top 2 itself.
Yes, and I really like the approach of WinZ Gaming, the team that we did not talk about. They are also in the podium finish, and they performed very good aggressive moves here and there whenever needed. And they survived until until top 3, which was way tougher because they were in a sandwich position where PN Rose as well as TSG, they were attacked from 2 different angles where they couldn't survive furthermore, and it all ended up on 1:3. And here comes the final circle where Legend, with barely 10 HP on his name, gets 1 elimination against Sahil, that 1 extra elimination point, and with 10 elimination points on their name, Team PN Rose bagged the booyah, owned the map of Purgatory, with Legend again being the MVP for this map with 9 elimination points and 4 assists.
No. We have to wait to see whether that is true. It seems like it is for the second game. TSG. That means TSG again have attained around 15 to 18 markers when it comes to elimination points, and that's no joke because they have been consistently playing this game. If they're doing the heavy lifting on day 1, they can relax for the rest of the days as well. We'll be also speaking more about how Payne Rose was able to save their teammates by using one specific character and one specific power that was, I feel, was electrotherapy by Casey, which he was using regularly to make sure the assaulter is always on full HP in that close range battle. But still, legend, before he got taken down, his mindset was clear. It's all about getting those eliminations first and then trying to concentrate on the stronger players.
Let's again talk about the damage that Legend has delivered, which adds up to 4,800. A strong player for the team as well as very supporting players. Let's talk about the game standings once again.
Oh
On
my
number
God.
1, we are going to spot Team TSG with total of 27 points on their name, followed by PN Rose, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is, with Booyah on their name and 10 elimination points. They have 22 points, and Binzad Gaming. Again, they balanced out their elimination and placements, a total of 16 points. And the way the strategy with HTG were doing, it worked out well with 15 points on their name.
Now, TSG Army, Tanya, is trying to set an example, if you ask me. The example is if I've got 30 points in one game and I replicate that, I've already got 60. If I've got that 10 buffer point, just by the third game itself, I'm going to be ready for the championship title. Just in case they play similarly in the grand finals. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be one hell of a ride for everybody out here. Nobody expected that this kind of a format is gonna, at the end of the day, prove fatal for teams like TSG. Whereas on the other side, we also have to speak about Desi Army as well as K98 not having that kind of a rhythm which they were expecting. But the team to attain the Booyah, these are what the stats look like.
Lewis here with 3 eliminations, 2 assists, and 3 knockdowns to almost 2,500 of points worth of damage, followed by Sahil, KD God, and Rose herself. Well, let's talk about the team support. 4 assists given by the bottom fragger of the team as well, Rose. So it's never about how many eliminations you take. It's always about how much damage you deliver, how is the perfect way of execution, and how strong can you stick with each other to take every team against you. And this time the team was the massive one, Team TSG Army, and overall scorecard is right in front of us.
I'm starting to feel a little sorry for Desi Army. They were one of the strongest teams out there in the lobby. I don't know what is going wrong for them. Boss Army as well. Non-stop gaming. Tanya, if you remember, these were the teams who are doing the talking when it comes to their firepower. And they showed us some signs of brilliance. But yes, you did predict that scrims are a different story when it comes to the real deal. That is when the experienced team, the strongest teams are going to step up. But Jaunty Gaming, what do you have to say about them? Because they had a buffer of 100 points almost when it comes to the scrims. And now we are able to see them on the 8th position.
I believe their rotations are something not functioning well for them. They are going all in instead of going in for the split. That is something that they are doing very wrong, which they did not during the times of scrims. They went for 1:3 ratio. So when they are getting totally decimated, there's no format or there's no way they can bring in a comeback story for themselves. So it's very much mandatory to follow the split that they were following during the scrim period. Right now they're going in that they might need the support fire, they might need the support player, but that is not functioning well, not in the first map, not in the second as well. And I believe this sort of split is not going to work for any of the teams playing within the 12 teams or in the lobby.
Good observation, because somewhere in between all those fights, I did not see that Jaunty Gaming were actually not going to their primary 1v3 split, whereas one player near the recall tower or the token shops was always ready to revive their teammates just in case things go haywire. But this time around, I believe that they might consider this point. They might go back to their drawing boards and understand this is our actual problem and come back a little better in the upcoming games. Now, coming back, we also have to speak about another legend in this game, that is Vasio Esports, because Vasio himself, having so much of experience, is still not able to handle the pressure of such big names trying to pick up so many points.
Team Vasio Esports is something that I am questioning myself about, because this is the team where I personally expected a lot coming in. Vasio,
Yeah.
one of the most experienced player in the lobby, is not able to survive until top 3. Now that is pretty questionable. Maybe first two
Yeah.
maps did not end up in his favor, or there were so many teams on the grounds of Brasilia where escape plan did not work, fighting plan did not work. There must be something. Maybe they should work out on the rotation format, just like they did in the previous map of Bermuda, where the last man made sure to give a biggest of rotation possible to survive until the end. He did not involve himself into the fight to get that position too. So somewhere around the corner, if the firepower is not working, if the immediate duels is not working, all you have to do is go for the rotation. Same worked for Team HTG, who were not spotted in map number 1, but
Exactly.
it worked well in Purgatory.
I mean, in Purgatory, if you speak about Vasio, I feel they were a bit more defensive than usual. Because when they know that TSG was actually having a fight with somebody, they could have gone into third party. It feels like they're a little bit underconfident when it comes to their firepower. But actually, they attain a really good firepower, because when we saw TSG as well as Vasio go in for a battle, at one point of time, Vasio had all 4 men standing and TSG had already lost 2 players. But it's that consistency, it's about the determination and grit which allowed the TSG to bounce back against the Vasio Esports, because that split behind the glue walls kind of backfired for them, and hopefully we'll be able to see them do something different in the upcoming map. Obviously, is it Kalahari or is it Alpine? It seems like it's Alpine, and we have been speaking about this. The brand new maps which is going to be introduced over here can become a little bit of a game changer. If things are not going well for the first 2 games, then obviously the third game you're going to have a wild card map that's Alpine, and I love the placement of these maps. The schedule is designed perfectly, if you ask me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a short break followed by the middle segment for the day. So stay aligned with us. We'll be back in no time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with Sky Sports Pro League Free Fire Max with an amazing, excited as well as it entirely involved, engaging fights from TSG. This is me, Tanya. Alongside me, it is Crips. Hey, Crips, how are you doing today, and how do you feel about Team TSG, who is totally ruling the charts, no matter booyah or no booyah?
I mean, to start things off, I feel extremely nostalgic. When I first came in to cast this event, I was really excited to get back in the form. And it's been a while since I've been on a Free Fire desk, right? So the adrenaline is obviously pumping high. But it's nice to see that good old names like PSG, names who were very good in the game back then as well, are also ruling the game now. So it kind of triggers all my nostalgia and it has all those happy hormones released. So yeah, apart from that, it feels really good to be back on a Free Fire desk again and can't wait to get the action started.
The action here does not take a stop here. There's no breather, there's no pause. Each and every player is on the roll in terms of rotation, taking some fights, and Free Fire Max has brought in some of the finest engaging fights here with some new abilities, with some new rules, everything that is involved to not only keep us engaged, but also the players, but also the viewers as well, because they also need to learn some new concepts. Because the best part here, Trips, is that not even a single active ability can be repeated. So imagine four individuals having four different active abilities.
Exactly right, and that will diversify the gameplay so much. I still remember back in the day, everybody was either using Alok or Chrono, and all of those supportive utilities were just extremely important. There was a time when diving into your enemy's Chrono Shield was considered to be a very skillful move and a very risky move. But if everyone was using that, the game does become a little stale. With this new rule of all the players required to have different active abilities, the game becomes so much more intense. That being said, I'm still getting used to the amount of diverse abilities that are on display over here. Like, for now, the one thing that I haven't seen be fully used to its absolute limits is the Tastuya ability. The movement, I mean, sure, it's amazing, but I haven't seen anyone blow my mind with it, so I'm really looking forward to someone using it.
Well, we did witness one or two moves such that just dash in, get your elimination pointer, and then move out of sight into a
Yeah.
thin air. It has been great to watch that sort of move, but yes, not such a commendable or which get carves into your memory. So not
Yeah.
such a moment. So yes, even I'm waiting for some sort of play. With Skylar again coming into the strongest of action, especially on the grounds of Purgatory where you don't have any hard cover. Glue wall is the only thing, and Skylar is being deployed here and there, and there is no cover for you. You get taken down at no point. Now that also turns everything very interesting.
Exactly, and I'm glad you brought up the whole Skylar point, because I also want to bring in another character over here, Nairi. Like, I know that this is more of a passive ability, so there's no such rule that you can repeat it or not repeat it, but the extra durability of the glue wall over there also kind of helps people. So I'm really looking forward to see how people actually balance it out. It is Free Fire Max, and you have to min-max your abilities in this situation.
And I'm also waiting for one more thing, which is Wukong. Remember those days when Wukong used to
I love Wukong so much. I love Wukong so much. I mean, that was my favorite ability, right? As a escape artist, that used to be my go-to.
and that is yet to be witnessed. And this next
Yeah.
map is also something new that we are going to see, which is going to be map of LP, which hasn't been so much in the circuit, and it's new as well for the entire Free Fire Max. So let's see how are the players going in for the rotations, or for going, are they going in all, like just on the maps of Purgatory, where Brasilia used to go, immediately jumped in, and all the eliminations. But we will get to witness it, ladies and gentlemen. This is Skyesports Pro League Free Fire Max, and this is map of Alpine, and I believe this is Militia's home ground, where all the players will land in and have immediate elimination points in their favor.
Well, I certainly hope to see some early game fights. I mean, if you say that they're going to have some early eliminations, then I will certainly believe you. But for now, let's jump in, ladies and gentlemen. The plane will take off over stadium. We go to its garrison. And I would like to see which one of these spots become the more highly contested spots. Of course, it's been a while, right, since I've seen a fight in a map like this. So even I would like to see how the players have adapted, how these guys are getting used to the new meta, and whether or not has anyone even figured out the new meta, because even I'm not fully familiar with it.
Well, the circle is supportive enough to not be brutal on anyone. Good spread out, no immediate crash landings. Everybody has got enough time to get that sort of loot. But if I had to say something, this map is so beautiful. It has snow on one corner, it has autumn on one corner, and it has got a good river kind of vibes and lakes near to the carousel side. So it is one of the most beautiful maps existing in this entire circuit of Free Fire Max. Ocean view, to be precise here. One of the players is around the corner using vehicles, and look at the skin. It's matching the ocean vibes.
Huh. The ocean vibes with the fish on the back. I get it, Tanya. I get why you like this colorful map so much. Although geographically kind of impossible to have snow and ocean in the same map if this was real life. That being said, thank goodness that we get to live in this virtual world and witness all these amazing battles. Jaunty Gaming, of course, this has been one of those teams which I was really looking forward to seeing. Very decorated player, plenty of competitive history, and of course, the players, they have changed teams since I saw them last. In fact, I would love to have a chat with these players as well about what they've been up to in the last few weeks. But here we have another battle starting out already. It seems like Desi Army has drawn first blood, and they've got the prey onto Licky.
Well, whatever they do right now, they want to go out of sight, but they wouldn't be allowed. They're trying to go back point as well, where Chanku gets a perfect position to shut down Desi Army. It's the third consecutive time where Desi Army is just struggling to survive, let alone get some elimination point, let alone go for the rotation. They are just struggling to survive, and it's Boss Army who will shut down Desi Army. These two teams struggling on the map of Bermuda right now. It's Boss Army who is at least buckled up enough to have the fight of equals and to dominate.
That was a nice shot. Amit Bhai does get confirmed. Boss Army also on quite a hot streak. 4 eliminations for them already. Meanwhile, Desi Army are just down to 1 player. And this could be devastating for them. Such an early loss. I don't know if they can tank it halfway through this day.
Here we go. It's going to be Binzed here trying to shut down Team TSG, and I believe Binzed is trying to go ahead, hit the X on your own feet. You cannot fight with the team like TSG right off the start, and when you're not even going for the split play, if you get this fight and you lose it, you lose the entire existence until the end of this map of Alpine. Now it's all in the snow world, looks very beautiful, but it isn't. It is very thrilling, it is very aggressive, where Gyan Ninja is spotted and taken down in no time by TSG. Obviously, this is one of the toughest fight picked up by Binzed. And here we go, Jaunty Gaming, the team finally buckling up.
Yeah, there's 2 fights happening at the same time. While Jaunty Gaming has already acquired 3 finishes over here, we did see an early clash against TSG early on. And TSG Army, you're right, Tanya, they are one of those teams who you cannot afford to face very early on unless you're extremely confident about your positionings. But here we go, Thunder and Gyan inside the house. Krish goes right in, pops them full of shotgun lead, and those are 2 instant knocks. That was extremely fast. Legend and Krish on fire, and they've got the next target as well. Yanarup trying to run away, up in the air. Can they trace him down? It seems like they do want to follow him. TSG really feeling their vibes right now, really wanting to chase all their opponents, and they really want those elimination points, Tanya. It seems like they're not going to let their prey get away scot-free.
And this is exactly what they're playing differently from what they played in scrims. We did not get to see this side of TSG in any scrims. And the Binzed last man flying away could not fly farther. Arup will be put to sleep, but that's great. Before he went to sleep, he made sure to awaken rest of the teams. Boss Army still having 1 man surviving. Desi Army could not get decimated as well, because all thanks to the split of 1:3. Now there is a revival point. There is a token how you can revive. That is also giving an extra bit of advantage to the rushers in TSG, where they are going rushing, and if they lose, they will be revived. But right now it is Jaunty Gaming. They are losing players here. 2 men down. Wolverine will be immediately resurrected.
Yeah, but Hemu has a lot of responsibility on his shoulder. He's already getting pushed from behind. Assassin Army scale up the staircases, and he's kind of trapped right now, hoping that the glue walls will be able to protect him from getting traded out, but that is not going to be the case at all. And even Hemu goes down, bites the dust. Assassin Army also on quite a hot streak. Plenty of fights going in their favor over here, Tanya.
A lot of fights do not have any elimination of entire squad. Everybody is surviving until the final circle, and then comes the havoc, then comes the chaos. Let's see how is it going to end up, and in which direction will the circle go towards. Right now, Assassin Army with 4 eliminations on their name, and Boss Army as well. Vasio Esports, the team to struggle to survive, is picking up fight with only one fence in between Team TSG, the strongest team in the lobby. They have been successfully shut down. Ayush, not for so long. Siddha immediately reviving his teammate, but
Wow.
Legend taking the trade here puts Predator down on his knees.
Oh yeah, that was actually insane. Even Siddharth with that cover fire protects Legend for the time being. So now you see why TSG Army is a force to be reckoned with. The moment Legend was in a bit of danger, he gets cover fire from behind, and now he's rushing ahead in the vehicle, trying to get a flank angle. Vasio Esports in quite a lot of danger. Krish caught in the open. Deploys the glue ball to keep himself alive for the time being, but here, there's throwables already being deployed towards him. Krish manages to cross the gap. Meanwhile, Kartik, he's been knocked down as well. Manish rushing towards him to hopefully provide cover fire, but Anshu really has to reposition. He's not in a place to trade his teammates out, Tanya.
Well, there's something that I'm looking forward to. Why is everybody up against Team TSG? Yes, they are on number one. They want to fight of the strongest team first, and then we'll go through. But on the course, they are losing the players, which is very tough to. I mean, if you lose players early on, there's no way you can hope to get Booyah anyhow. And this time, it was shutting down. Well, they prove me wrong now.
Yeah, it seems like the gods can bleed as well, Tanya. TSG Army, not exactly the invincible force that we thought they would be, but then again, they're up against Vasio Esports, who also are one of the stronger teams of this lobby. Two titans clashing against each other, and one can only hope that other teams don't get caught in between this titan brawl. On our screens right now, though, we have PN Rose. They did get the Booyah last game, and they want to continue their dominant streak once again. They do see Mafia. Mafia on the run, using all the movement possible to get away from PN Rose, but they're going to launch themselves towards him again. Mafia ready to intercept. Both the glue walls deployed. A glue wall melter also on the ground should hopefully get him the advantage, but Black falls. So does Lewis. Total Gaming Mafia. His sniping skills are on point today, Tanya.
Well, when haven't they been? Mafia has been one of the finest snipers available in the lobby. And the entire squad on the other side going to sleep, and until and unless there was a shotgun and a close range duel, obviously. But PN Rose went a little more aggressive than they should have. They lost 2 players. Sure, they will be revived. And when Z, they were enemies. Right now, friends for Mafia. But at the end of the circle, it will be Mafia taking down them as well, because he is gatekeeping. He has got a better position. When Z gaming on the route of getting the entry, but on the other side, Mafia will be put to sleep no matter what, even after losing 2 players. Sahil will not allow the loss of Lewis and Black go astray.
Yeah, at least he will redeem his teammates. They won't go down for nothing. Sahil with a triple elimination. Also getting the knock onto Mafia confirmation as well. That was a good enough fight for him. But now they're up against a new nemesis, Total Gaming and PN Rose. Will they be able to duke it out? Insane. He's got D-God, KD-God in his sights, and will they be able to pick up these fights? KD-God still looking for an angle. Knows that Insane is across the corner. And glue wall deployed. Insane knock. He really lives up to his name. And that's him down as well. Total Gaming lose 1 player.
And Desi Army loses their existence once again. The first team to get eliminated. And what about KD God? Well, he's back again in action. He was near to the revival point and he revived his entire team. 5 eliminations already. Team TSG again spotted in action. This time it's against the Boss Army. It's a strong push coming in from Licky as well as Shanku. Ayush down on the knees. Legend as well. It's all up to the last man standing. How long will he stand? And Divine putting everyone player by player. Boss Army, it's a 2v1 situation. Krish versus Shanku. 1v3. Not with the Uzi in his hand. Will he be able to deliver the damage that he's deciding to?
Shanku trying to heal in the middle of all this chaos. And Divine has the higher ground. He's got the flank, but hold on. It's Vasio Esports, they are here to third party. And now Shanku has to finish this fight as quickly as possible. He's trying to dip in and out of cover. Down to just him. He tries to escape, but he's gonna land right in the arms of Vasio Esports. And this is the worst possible place to reposition. out of the frying pan into the fire. Boss Army is eliminated. And now two Titans clash yet again. It's a rematch, Tanya. Vasio Esports and TSG are going against each other.
And Predator down on his knees. Will he be revived? Because he's quite too far. And no, he will be revived rather. He will be resurrected rather revived. Again, launchpad coming into action. They did not end up well for Boss Army. Will it be going good for Kaushik here on the rooftop? And he is tanking up the damage from blue zone as well. The tank will be only cover, pushing in with SMG. Kaushik will be able to take down Krish. And will he get the time and opportunity to take the confirmation? Yes, he does. Kaushik eliminates the team TSG, who has been dominating the entire day. The first segment was entirely on the name of Team TSG. Now, Vasio Esports bringing in all the best they have in them with 9 eliminations and 3 players surviving.
Massive game for Vasio Esports. With 9 eliminations, they should be able to propel themselves into the upper echelons. But before we can talk about them taking down the Titans, we have another Titan, Mafia, down on his knees. Gar98 Esports taking a fight against V and Rose. They should be able to melt all these blue walls down, but Sahil, he will be able to steal the finish onto Mafia. Points taken away from Gar98 and all their efforts going down the drain. Plenty of bullets, plenty of lead, shrapnel, all of that being rained upon towards Sahil, but he uses a bunch of glue walls and gets himself behind cover. Yes, of course, he's taking a lot of damage from the blue, but he just has to survive for a little bit longer. If he can just survive long enough to let Kar98 distract themselves, he might just be saved by Jaunty Gaming, who are looking to third party in on this fight.
Jaunty Gaming surviving and not losing any players. They very well know about how the final circle is going to succumb, and they need to survive. Look at the circle. Every 4 teams already within it, and 4 teams trying to make the route. And Non-Stop Gaming struggling to take an entry here against Team HTG Gaming. HTG Gaming is one of the teams with having one of the best positioner in their mind about how to get into top 3 by just surviving, holding an angle, giving the best rotation, and on the course, Team Total Gaming has been eliminated. Now it's all about Non-Stop Gaming versus Hello Television Gaming.
You go, the glue walls break down and pandemonium ensues. Manu with the first knock will be able to respond in kind, but the glue walls prevent them from getting traded out. And this is absolute chaos right here, Tanya. It's just out to Pratik, and he too will not be able to survive. Non-Stop Gaming showing absolutely no signs of mercy as they take down HTG. Even Sahil, he's trying to get inside the zone, barely surviving by the skin of his teeth, getting shot by so many players. Can he survive? He just about makes it in. Just on the edge, keeping the banner of P and Rose waving high for now.
He has been spotted, and I'm very sure Team Jaunty Gaming wouldn't allow him an easy entry, and he will tank up a little bit of zone damage alongside the opponent's lead. And there's nothing much more that Sahil can do except for getting to the 6th number. And 6th is also good placement points achieved with 9 elimination points on their name. And Team Non-Stop, they shut down Team HTG. The aggression that they got in themselves got to a right point. Now, the real question lies where Assassin Army and Non-Stop Gaming having the numbers advantage. Will this sort of advantage help them to bag a booyah? With only 5 teams and 15 players in the lobby, nobody has got the advantage of safe zone. Bin Zaid being the first one to enter the circle. Now here comes Bin Zaid versus Vasio Esports.
Non-Stop Gaming are also in the fray, Tanya. This is a massive third-party situation over here as these people struggling with the trades. The glue walls making sure that they can't really get lines of sight on each other. Anshu is going all the way around the circle. He's got lines of sight on Anubhav now, and he will not be able to win the fight. Anubhav barely surviving, will be taken down eventually. Struggle is actually struggling to get inside the zone. And take a look at Assassin Army. These guys are the true assassins in this lobby. They've got all the lines of sight available. They're making life a living hell for every single team. And even Hemu is down. Prince is on fire. He's got so many people. He is absolutely unstoppable right now as Honey goes in for the final finish, the full rush. And that's going to be the end of Jaunty Gaming as well. Sheesh, that was a crazy booyah.
John Gaming taking away the Booyah, the team that was having a major miss in final three. Same goes for Assassin Army taking away the Booyah because they had the numbers advantage. It was a 1v4 scenario or 1v3 to be precise, and Assassin Army somehow the team to always hold the bottom two of the leaderboard finally rises themselves up on number one position by getting themselves 12 placement points and a lot of elimination points here into the final circle. The non-stop gaming was just struggling to enter the circle. They had all the advantage of holding everyone to not enter the safe zone.
Yeah, and this has been one of those games which basically turns the tables. Assassin Army, they actually left their high ground to go in and confirm all the final finishes, and it's actually insane to see how much of an advantage they had on top of that high ground over there, as even the best teams were really struggling to get inside the zone as they were fighting each other and just racing along the blue zone. It's Assassin Army who's just sitting there with a nice position, taking pot shots at everybody, and Prince just does not seem to miss.
He did not miss, but he did miss a lot in the map of Bermuda and Purgatory. They had to step up, they had to level up, and this new map of Alpine definitely ended up in his favor in all the way possible. If you had to go for zone read, they were the only team to have the circles advantage, and they were able to gatekeep not only one but total of two teams, and successfully. It was Prince who was able to connect all the shots and not allow any other team to just enter their circle.
Absolutely, but I do feel bad for all the other teams who were at the top for a brief moment in the first two games. You talked about Total Gaming, you talked about TSG Army. These are all very experienced names, and because they dominated the first two games, I feel like their confidence was running super high and they were picking some really fair fights. It's just that they couldn't live up to it. Fire somehow was extinguished, and all the spark that they felt in the first two games just did not really carry through in this one as well. But I'm kind of happy because this one will kind of reset the whole table, and all the other teams who were not doing well at one point will also have a chance to climb up. And this is just the third game done here off the first day. This tournament is going to be insane the way it's going so far.
Here we go ahead with the highlights on the map of Alpine, where Jonty Gaming started off picking up early fights near to the ocean view itself. They won this duel and got a lot of elimination points. Boss Army's last man definitely had a better escape plan where he survived. But I felt bad for PSG somehow. It was each and every team in the lobby who wanted to pick fights with PSG. I mean, let's start naming it, starting off with Binzed Gaming, then came Assassin Army, each and every team. Then also came Vasio Esports, fighting here to the friends. Every team in the lobby had one plan to shut down PSG anyhow, to have an opportunity to win a booyah, to get the placement points of top 3. So somewhere Team PSG were taking fight from every other team available in the lobby.
Yeah, it's almost like they were only here for the finish points. They didn't really seem to care about what happens, about their position, what happens if they get screwed by the zone. So they were just really brave, and they were playing Free Fire Max in the true romantic way. They loved the fights. And oh yeah, this moment was actually very funny in my opinion. Pod Army, they were really trying to escape from TSG, but they ended up landing in the open arms of Vasio. And that is just unfortunate.
And here, final fight, Non-Stop Gaming pushing HTG going to sleep in no time, and Non-Stop Gaming getting those elimination points in final few moments for themselves until Sahil decided to get some picks. He definitely got them, but zone was not in the favor of Team PN Rose, and comes Assassin Army. 9 eliminations already, perfect zone placement, perfect height advantage, and the strongest sniper with the best of the sniper skills. All he had to do was get a pixel, get an elimination points, and we'll talk about the MVP on the map of Alpine. Obviously, there is no question there. It had to be Prince, and it is Prince. 6 elimination points, 2 assists, and look at the damage, 3,382. Doesn't match up with the elimination and assists. He might have got a lot of knocks on his name.
Yeah, plenty of knocks, perhaps way too much damage, because when he has such a vantage position in the last zone, and when he's raining fire upon everybody, naturally he's going to dish out all the damage as well. And only 2 assists, which means his teammates also contributed quite a lot. Although, that being said, I do believe that maybe some of their finishes were potentially stolen away, because that fight was really chaotic. And yeah, sure, as Nami, they had the best position in the game, but you gotta keep in mind that everybody else who's coming in from the zone, even though they're being gatekept primarily by Assassin Army, they also had to fight a bunch of other people along the way. So yeah, he is way ahead of his teammates in terms of damage. 3,382 for Prince, but almost everybody else in his team has less than 2,000 damage. So that kind of shows you how much of an MVP performance this was.
And look at the player, Honey, 6 assists, 6 massive assists, man. Sure, he does have one elimination on his name, but look at the team efforts that he has put in for his team. And this is all about teamwork. Thus, this team is put on the feature right now by gaining themselves one booyah, the team to have the rock bottom in every single first 2 maps. And now they are turning the tables just by surviving until top 6 teams remaining. And then they showed their true colors by taking down any team on their way with a good distributed angle. Sure, Prince was taking care of the longer range, but there were 2 players who were already ready to rush in, and that is how they got these many elimination points. Again, coming towards the game standings for the day, they get total of 24 points, which is massive and strongly balancing, followed by Jaunty Gaming, 23 points on their name. They relied more on elimination points, followed by Team Vasio. Finally, Jaunty Gaming, Team Vasio spotted in top 3. These were the 2 team scripts that I and Arka were talking over and over time.
Yeah, and they truly deserve all the spotlight. They deserve to be talked about till the end of time. Absolute dominance from Jaunty Gaming and Vasio as well. Of course, Assassin Army comes out on top, but it still is very impressive how Jaunty Gaming had more eliminations than Assassin Army. Truly, truly amazing. And I can say the same for Team Vasio as well. Sure, the placement points might have been lacking, but given the situation that Vasco Gaming was trapped in, given how much pressure the zone was putting on them, I still think this is a decent enough game from them. Ian Rose, of course, managing to continue the momentum. The Puya in the previous game, combined with 14 points total in this game, should be able to keep them afloat at the tippy top. Not from kidding though. This is one of those teams who I did not expect much from in this game, considering they lost quite a lot of their players early on, but they still have plenty of finishes, plenty of eliminations, and yeah, let's take a look at the overall standings. You did mention, Tanya, that this is the kind of table that will really give the teams at the bottom another chance at redemption. Here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Redemption indeed.
But look at Team TSG Army here. They are on number 1 position with 70 total points. And if this is the way they are going to play on the grand finals day as well, they might end the day on the 5th map itself, because the 70 total points within just 3 maps, which is too huge. Followed by Team Rose, Team PN Rose. They have given all the best that they can. They got one booyah. They are surviving until the end. But there's nothing compared when we talk about the elimination points here. Even doubling up the eliminations of Team PN Rose and Assassin Army, they are nowhere close to elimination points achieved by TSG Army.
Wow. Indeed, a truly, truly amazing game. I can't believe that my first game back on the desk is such a banger. And yeah, this was Alpine. I mean, sure, it's not the newest map, but this was my first game of Alpine that I've casted. And man, I mean, this map is fun to play, but it's even more fun to cast somehow. I can't even imagine what the other maps are going to be like Nexterra. And that's going to be super, super interesting, because coming up soon, we will have that and Kalahari as well. And if the third game alone is enough to push this team up at 70 points in the lead, I can't believe what's going to happen on the grand finals day. And I love this new format as well, Tanya.
Yes.
I mean, I thought that, yeah, sure, with 12 placement points per booyah and plenty of finishes, you should be able to get to the 80-point mark in the grand finals by 4th or 5th game. But man, I am bad at math. Either that or TSG Army are too good at Free Fire Max.
They are extremely good. They are unstoppable. Even by getting eliminated early on, there's nothing that can take away the number 1 position here with a good amount of buffer remaining. They have that cushion points. And next map is going to be map of Kalahari, where we are going to see a lot of snipers again. And Team TSG has a lot of better snipers compared to other people in the lobby. So I do see some good eliminations again. Hopping in, booyah or no booyah, they are going to master on elimination points in the map of Kalahari as well.
Yeah, and in Kalahari, it's really important to get that central area under your control because the terrain there can be quite tricky to navigate. But of course, it's one of those maps which teams are way more familiar with as compared to some of the other ones. So I do believe that some of these teams, if they're able to stick to their old playstyle, they should be able to actually give TSG Army a run for their money. If not, actually take them down, maybe get yourselves into the top 6 somehow.
And during the knockout stage, I believe each and every team has got the same strategy. We just want to be in top 6 to go ahead and qualify. And each team has got the opportunity of 12 maps. So it's a long run. Sure, we are down 3 maps already, 3 more to go. And next one being Kalahari, one of my personal favorite maps, where Refine, if you're able to get the control over the grounds of Refinery, I believe you are done. You can take away the booyah until and unless Circle has different plans for you.
Yeah, and refinery fights were always so chaotic, right, Tanya? Like, we would often see that if the circle, especially the end circle, if it's towards refinery, there would be at least like 7-8 teams alive up until the second last circle, and then it would all just devolve into pandemonium. That is the kind of vibe I'm really missing from Kalahari. It could either be that, but we've also seen several games where almost every team gets eliminated very early on and only 2 or 3 teams remain up until the end. So Kalahari is one of those maps where it could be absolutely populated in the end, or it could be totally devastated. It could be just like a deserted map all throughout. So yeah, and I'm not saying deserted because obviously it's a desert, it's sandy and whatnot. I mean, like, population wise, there could be very few teams remaining up until the very end, and every game of Kalahari has been like either everyone survives or no one survives. We often spoke about the Thanos circle in that map as well, and I would love to see something like that again.
Well, talking about early eliminations, I do see Council Hall eliminations as well, because they are during the scrims as well, Chris. Everybody wanted a control over Council Hall. I couldn't understand. It's fine, you can go out, you can go rotate and then go for Council Hall, but no, there were multiple teams who were trying hands there and getting early eliminations. So let's see about in which direction the map of Kalahari would go. Will it go for an early elimination, early eliminating teams, or maybe until the final circle, the typical Kalahari chaotic circle?
Yeah, in fact, I also want to speak about another place in Kalahari, which is my personal favorite, Mammoth.
Yeah.
I don't know if teams still like going there, but I personally love that place just because of the vibes. So yeah, I'm glad that you're bringing up all the new points and what's happening in the scrims. But I, for one, I'm a fan of just good old entertainment. So let's jump into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Kalahari is going to be up on your screens anytime soon. And this is one of those maps which everybody loves watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the game number 4 map of Kalahari for Skyesports Pro League Free Fire Max. Flight path behind the northern area of the map. It is more towards the southern side, and the spread out still shouldn't be the cause of concern. Nobody is willing to head towards Refinery. No, it is. It is non-stop gaming already heading there. And look at Commandment over there. We are going to see 2 teams, one of which is going to be Assassin Army, who just took Booyah. But realizing Vasio Esports take the safer route, they do not wish to engage in any fight early on. They are going for the safer side. But it is team Car 98 already on the ground of command post. They've got one player down, and again team the Desi Army.
Yeah, Desi Army taking Mammoth for themselves, and this is exactly what I signed up for, Tanya. Swastik, last man standing, has to somehow either escape from this fight or get a massive clutch, but he will be able to do so. Car 8 eliminated very early on in this battle, and Desi Army, shit, that was a really fast squad wipe. It's not even been 1 minute since we touched ground. Some of these teams are still about to pick up their first weapons, and we already have our first squad wipe. No survivors, no respawns, just straight up eliminations. Desi Army are up over here by a massive margin, and now they got the entirety of Mammoth for themselves. They got plenty of time to rotate, plenty of time to loot up. They barely had anything to work with, Tanya, and still they showed you why it is difficult to mess with a team like this.
Well, Desi Army has not been stepping up for the first half of the day, and I believe this is the right time of realization. They need to step up. They need to get those elimination points, and they need to survive until the end. And not to mention here, non-stop gaming, minting those tokens here and there, trying to get as many as possible, because that is how you can bring in your teammates, lost teammates, back in the lobby, and at the end you want to have a booyah. Zip lines towards the flatbed near to the refinery, and no, it's all about the loot as of now. Everybody is feeling safe, but for how long? Because within 2 minutes, within 27 seconds, the circle will take a shift, and then again, little bit of chaos will be spotted.
Yeah, there will be some chaos spotted later on, but for now, it just seems to be a very calm and composed game, which isn't exactly what I signed up for. But Tanya, I've noticed that quite a lot of people are using Thiva. I mean, this wasn't exactly the most overpowered ability back there, but now I'm seeing like plenty of people are using this. And since it's one of those abilities which doesn't require an active slot, I do believe that quite a lot of people can spam this. So I'm loving how the meta is evolving right now, and how many new characters are we getting to see.
Sure, because Theva's ability is to definitely speed up and go ahead, rescue his teammates, or maybe help others at the best of the speed possible. And it also increases and recovers the HP by 15% there. So Theva is the passive ability which has been spotted here and there to be the support player for the team. But right now on the grounds of Foundation, who is going to fight against each other? Well, it is TSG versus Bin Z, but this time Bin Z want to be at the safer spot. They don't want to pick up
Uh
fight
oh.
against Team TSG because they have realized they got eliminated previously. Not this time, but Jaunty Gaming against Wasio Esports. It is the one they got one elimination points and height advantage wisely used by Boss Army to take down players of Team TSG.
Yup. But while Boss Army was able to get that first knock, Krish has been revived, and whatever loss that TSG was suffering has already been recovered. Now Boss Army need to recuperate their strats and figure out where to go next, because they've already spotted TSG, they've already fired some shots, so they've revealed their position. But back in Mammoth, Desi Army, after already having wiped out Car 98 Army, are now facing a new opponent. This time, it's none other than HTG Esports.
HTG,
Uh
yes,
oh.
they are cornered very badly. Blue walls only being the support system. Sure, they will be reviving the teammates. They see Army trying to get a better angle there. And the height advantage will be contested. And the beauty is this Army will struggle way bad in HPG. They are going to have a team wipeout. We are just 5 minutes on the map of Kalahari, and there are two teams who are already eliminated. And on the ground of the script talked about, that is Mammoth.
Woof. Yeah, Mammoth Fight's definitely heating up. But once again, Tanya, we are back in Council Hall. You already spoke about how important this area is, and Vasio Esports are showing us why they are the kings of this place. 4 eliminations to their name already. And the height advantage combined with the trading from Kaushik and Predator has been absolutely spot on from Vasio Esports. Their decision making skills and the speed at which they do it is absolutely spot on. But while Jaunty Gaming lost a couple of their players early on, I do see a couple of revives on the feed over there. So I wonder what's going to happen if these teams also figure out that the players are being revived. Have we seen a lot of hunt downs that way? Like the moment players are landing again, as soon as they are revived, as soon as they respawn, do teams actually try to hunt them down, or do they get late for it?
Well, if you're talking about the duck hunt game, yes, there are definitely that duck hunts happening where the players are just afloat trying to reach the land. Before that they're already taken down. And this
Hmm.
tower control, this is a permanent spot for Team Total Gaming. It's been years and years and years. All they want to do is have this tower control, have a perfect angle, and get the support from the circle, and get all the elimination points in their name. But let's see, are they going to end up with the booyah? Because most of the time they will be able to get the elimination points, but not the booyah, because when they have to when the circle takes the shift and they have to make a move, it's always very difficult to enter within the frame.
Yeah, so even though Total Gaming have one of the best vantage points of this POI, they are up against BZ. Now, BinZ, they've not really had the best team fights in the last two maps. I do believe that they have amazing gun power. They do have quite a lot of aim stars in their team. But for some reason, these aim stars, while they can win their duels 1v1, they just end up losing the team fights whenever trading potential is involved. But here we have Total Gaming. They're now closing in the distance, connected to each other, bonded. They advance further, trying to storm the front. And by this time, they should be aware that BinZ Gaming are also present over here, right above them. So they need to be careful.
And there's something that I want to inform you is Mafia is using Wukong ability, one of your favorite one. Let's expect some very interesting fight coming in from their side. But before that, it's Vasio Esports already engaging in one of the fights, already confirmed one of the player down on his knees. And it's a rush from Team Total Gaming. They're looking forward to rush against Team PNGos. Now, this is very risky battle. If it was happens, no, it is Assassin Army. It's the height advantage due to which Team Total Gaming will have a great time there. And Jaunty Gaming with the very first elimination points after losing Ash from the lobby.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate loss for Ash. And Jaunty Gaming have already used up a few of their tokens to revive Hemu. So, yeah, I don't know if they will be able to do something like that again. But currently, revival is not on their priority list. They need to survive first because they're getting shot. Vasio Esports. Love the movement. Love the way they get the advantage on the height. And now they've got sightlines onto Hemu. Predator already firing quite a lot of shots. It's Anshu who gets the knock. And just like that, Jaunty Gaming once again in quite a lot of danger.
The zone is shrinking and they need to make sure they also make a move apart from taking some fights because otherwise zone will eat them up on the grounds of man. You can see Team HTG versus PN Rose. Blue Almeters being deployed, no cover here, and small tents, which has a lot of openings where throwables will be introduced. And as soon as I say that, it's Muktia this time using throwables already to waste out all the glue walls that have been placed by Team PN Rose. Again, trying to make a move. They are creating a ladder of cover with the glue wall and trying to take a control over one of the possible tents, which I don't think is very, very easy. HTG Gaming here, tanking up a lot of damage with only bit of cover that they have is Ridge. Pratik trying to give a cover with the throwables again. Will they be able to survive? But barely, sneakily, slowly, they got the cover of the tent, and once they get that, they are ready with an aggression, they are ready with the push, and this time with shotguns in both the sides, I believe. It's the fight of equals again, where Team TSG is trying to join in as a third-party affair, very nearby, and they will mint. TSG has been minting some elimination points by eliminating a knocked out player, and that falls into their strategy wisely with them having 47 elimination points on their name already. Now height advantage for Team PN Rose.
Yeah, Team PN Rose, they do have the height advantage, you're right, Tanya, but Kiri God has the angles as well. Pratik and Lawyer trying to get towards the other side of the ridge, hoping to avoid this fight, but they've also realized that TSG is here. I think they might have just spotted their enemies. They are hoping to bait PN Rose into a fight against TSG while they get to live on the periphery. And we spoke about a third party, Tanya, but look at this. Take a look at who PN Rose are fighting. They're fighting Assassin Army. This is a fourth party situation, but Assassin Army might just be a little too early to the party. They've already lost a couple of their players, and this could be way, way worse. They came in hoping for a couple of free eliminations, but they're the ones suffering losses instead.
PN Rose, whom will they survive from? There's so many teams that they have to be safe from. If they look at the bottom, they've got HTG. If they look at the back, they have Assassin Army. If they look on the side, they've got TSG. It's a tough point for Team PN Rose. Either they get a lot of elimination points or they get eliminated. Look at Legend. He's just enjoying the view of three teams fighting. He doesn't want to get involved. He is in the safe zone. He's looking forward for the right time when he can rush in and bag those elimination points. On the course, Team Jaunty Gaming is fighting against Team Vasio Esports. Vasio Esports lost a couple of players but were revived immediately. So not much of a loss except for Jaunty Gaming gaining some elimination points here.
Yeah, Gaming do gain a couple of points. Are they trying to re-engage in this fight against PN Rose? They're currently on the edge, and all the throwables are keeping them at bay. Meanwhile, Vasio Esports are recuperating their losses. They just got back Kaushik. And the moment I say that, even Manish comes back online. So Vasio Gaming back down to all 4 players.
Well, 10 eliminations on the name of RCO Gaming. They are buckling up. They are showing that yes, we do exist. Look at the elimination points. Total Gaming 0, Assassin Army 0. So goes same for Bot Army. And then talking about WinZ, PN Rose, HTG. HTG with 4 eliminations, but WinZ, PN Rose and TSG with 1 eliminations on their name. But this time TSG wants to make sure that they are able to cement the number 1 position till the end of the day. They want to survive until the end. And the tower control favors no more for Team Total Gaming. They have to make a move in which Delete will be spotted by Non-Stop Gaming Zazzy. He will be spotted. He will be put down on knees. And Predator is taken down by Zone. Now, this is a very difficult situation if you go in for the late rotations. Right now, Team Total Gaming is also struggling for just entering the circle. These are the these are the problems that they face if you go for the later rotations.
Oh my goodness, actually struggling, surviving at like 9 HP. And he just about gets away, trying to reposition, and he actually gets both of those finishes as well. Vasio Gaming had just revived a couple of their players, and now they're down to one last player again. Even Anshu goes down. P and Rose are stepping into this fight, and this is turning into a very, very heated affair. Boss Army, they might not be in the zone yet, but they're raining plenty of hellfire upon Non-Stop Gaming. Plenty of fights taking place at the same time, and all of them are heading towards Non-Stop Gaming. Non-Stop Gaming might just be in the zone, so they should be able to gatekeep Boss Army, but with just a couple of glue walls at their disposal, they clash into them head on. Even HTG are on the southern edge of the circle. The high ground of Mammoth is about to turn into a graveyard. Stopping, lovely shots. Lewis deploys a landmine in Honey's face. What on earth is that? Bokeria, or what? He still gets spotted out. Pratik still has angles on them. Lewis trapped inside that container. Pratik deploys the glue wall just to keep himself alive, but Sahil has been exposed. He's trying to go around the other side so that he can help his teammate out. Sahil and Lewis on the low ground. Only Black is the one on high ground trying to go up against the SG, and Chris trying to fight him at the same time. And while all of this is going on, Assassin Army have appeared on the periphery. They should be able to get plenty of finishes onto everybody. And they do. Shanku with a lovely knock as well. Assassin Army hit back, yes, but they might just get distracted. They're going towards the other side of the ridge now. They've spotted a couple of other teams who might be even more vulnerable.
Well, it has been Z Gaming. There's no way they are going to walk on the mountain here, to walk on the upper part of the map, and it's all about Assassin Army. They've got the better placement, but Circle has taken its shift. Now, either they've got one place where they go in for 2 elimination points, or they start moving towards the center of the circle. And there's one team who is also have to end up in the open to, no, they have the grapple gun. They made an immediate entry, which will put them into the risk. They are landing up on the faces of Team TSG, and they will be knocked down. Obviously, this was pretty predictable, where they had to use and enter the circle in a way where Team TSG was very hungry of the elimination points, starts knocking down people. Being in the center of the circle, they are spotted by 2 teams in 2 different directions, one of which is Boss Army. On the other side, they have P and Rose. Krish trying to decide, go down with shotguns, getting those elimination points for themselves, and yes, P and Rose's 2 players will be put to sleep.
Yeah, P and Rose in quite a lot of trouble, but TSG need to scale the back up the mountain. They did relinquish the high ground, hoping to get a couple more a couple of more elimination points. But when they did that, Boss Army decides to take the high ground for themselves. They tried to use the opportunity to get an advantage, and TSG have all climbed up once again. Shanku and Arsh, they've been spotted earlier, and now TSG are just trying to find them in this maze of glue walls. They completely ignore them. They know for a fact they need to get back into the center, and now their next target is an Assassin Army. Honey and Prince kind of trapped over here. They're getting shot by Legend. They try to protect themselves by placing high-end glue walls, but look at that. They can see the feet. And no, Honey, he almost could have destroyed Legend, but Legend gets shut down. Krish responds in kind, gets the trade onto Honey. Yes, that's possible, but he needs to get Prince, and he needs to get him now. The MVP of the last game, still surviving on his last legs, hoping to get the advantage in any way that he can, any way possible. Siddharth trapped inside. Lika tries to go in on a 1v1. Siddharth wins that battle. It's all up to Shanku. Can he clutch? It's done to him and Siddharth. Revival coming through. Gets his teammate back up on his feet. Once again, deciding to re-engage. Pre-fires across the corner. Runs out. Switches to the sniper. But he can't do it in time. It's up to Christian Ayush once again. And now comes Prince. Can he clutch this out?
takedown.
Gets a shot through the wall.
Whoa!
And as well. Prince with the clutch. And Assassin Army get their second booyah.
Prince with 1v3. Well, this was the least expected outcome, but Assassin Army finally on the roll with second consecutive booyah, and there's nothing that could have stopped the sniper shot connecting, because that takes a lot of practice and lots of precision.
And look, this is how it all ended. He's prone, waiting, anticipating for the time to strike. Uses the grappling gun to get all the way around so that they don't spot him come up out of their line of sight. He's keeping an eye on everybody. And when the moment is right, he decides to strike. He already saw Chris trying to put up that wall. Instantly traces him through it. And that is how you make a stylish clutch. Sheesh, that was very entertaining.
It was indeed. I was expecting that TSG is again going to go for a booyah, but Prince had a different plan. He was having a gala time, going into the prone position. I don't want to involve in any of the fight. I'll come into the action when I want a booyah. And by the time he realized it is the right time, used the grapple gun and went in an action, and there was nothing that could have stopped him. The way he was literally trailing the pixel once he spotted while using the glue wall on the other side, he started connecting shots one by one, and then rest is history. Obviously, Assassin Army buckled up to the position. There's nobody to chase them.
Yeah, and it's not just the fact that he took the chance to go down, go prone, and, wait out everybody, dip under the fire while everybody is beating each other up. It's that he was already spotted before that. And then he goes all the way around, uses the grappling gun once again to reposition himself, comes from a position where his opponents won't really expect him. And even if they do expect him, they were hoping that the glue wall that they deployed would give them some time to recuperate their HP, lick their wounds. Even that was not allowed. Amazing clutch. And now Assassin Army are back with their second booyah. I don't know exactly how many points this will net them, but I think now TSG Army is in a bit of danger.
TSG Army will still retain the number one position, but Assassin Army will be very close this time. Let's again start having a look on the map of Kalahari, where Krips just mentioned he wanted to witness some fights on the ground of Mammoth, and it was Mammoth from the start until the end, from the first elimination until the end, where here we spotted a team elimination very early on, within early few minutes itself. Skyesports definitely buckled up. They were the first team to go on the double digit in terms of elimination points, but somehow the delayed rotation did not work into their favor. They were taken down. Coming towards this chamber, this ability which they used, which was perfect dismissal, again pushing in, getting one more knock, again going in for the third one, which was very good from the side of Struggle, and thus he is the perfect rusher for Team Non-Stop Gaming.
Yeah, he is indeed the perfect rusher. His perfection personified, just such good use of his abilities. And that kind of tells you how much the meta has evolved. Back in the day, someone needed Wukong to pull off something like this. And now, you see a much more aggressive version of this. It's almost like he's dismissing out of fights. But as we go towards the final circle, TSG really thought that they had another booyah in the bag. 9 finishes to their name already. Wins the fight against Boss Army as well. Shanku was chased around these containers. But just when the moment is right, they do not expect Prince to come in from the low ground. And last bullet connected so beautifully. He knows exactly where his enemies will be. He knows exactly how to use that game sense to his advantage and the timing to his advantage. Perfection.
Well, I'm still stuck to that Orion ability which was used by Non-Stop Gaming. The way he just pushed in and got those elimination points and control over the chamber. That chamber where they get a lot of loots and stuff. Sure, they couldn't end up in top 3, but that fight will still remain in my head for quite a while, because this was the ability that we did not talk about. And Orion, believe me, this dismiss ability keeps on continuing until you are able to knock one of the opponents. You knock, you dismiss, and it was very very nicely used. Now, coming back to Prince, what do you have to say, Crips? Because this Prince is going unstoppable with his sniper skills and also in the position where his team survives to the best of the location.
Yeah, it's insane how he was able to use the snipers, but that's something we already expected him to do, right? Even in the previous game, we saw that Assassin Army had the high ground and Prince was the MVP because he was just raining down fire with that sniper upon all his enemies. But at that time, his team had the zone advantage, had the numbers advantage, and Prince was just sitting on top providing overwatch to all his players who were rushing from the sidelines. That's a completely different scenario from this one. You do not have the best position. I don't think you have any more teammates available either. So it's not like you can provide cover fire from atop. You have to go in and strike yourself. It shows that he can be both the person who plays from behind and he can be both the person who can go in for the clutches himself. Living up to both the roles really well. But now, let's take a look at the most valuable player of this game. It's going to be Siddharth from TSG. 6 eliminations to his name. He assists as well. Really good team contribution. And massive 1,158 damage.
Well, Sadak did a lot for his team, thus he is the most valuable player for the map of Kalahari. Sure, not taking away the booyah, but taking away the limelight of most valuable player with 3 assists is definitely massive. Now, let's also move forward towards the other players. Team featured right now on the screen is going to be Assassin Army because they just took the booyah. 3 eliminations on the name of Prince, and these were the last 3 final eliminations that he took with the booyah, with 4 knockdowns on his name and 1225 damage points, followed by second Aim God, and then comes Honey and Dafik. It doesn't get considered here whether they couldn't reach the double digit in terms of elimination. What actually matters is that the solo survivor bagging the booyah from the Titans within the lobby. That matters the most to me.
Yeah, but what I'm really impressed by is the fact that Prince can step up and show MVP-like performance again and again. Even though he isn't crowned the MVP in this game, there were other players from PSG who stole away that title because of the impressive eliminations and damage numbers they had. Prince steps up when the team requires him to. You also have Aim God and Honey assisting really well with 2 eliminations of their each. And now let's take a look at the game standings. Assassin Army, they get the booyah, yes, but they're still behind PSG, who were able to outperform them basis on their elimination points.
Still, TSG remains strongly cemented on number 1 position on this map as well, which is going to bring in the better positioning on the final scoreboard as well after 4 maps. But Car 98 Army, trying to pick up fight early on within the first few moments, did not end up exactly as they wanted to. TSG Army with 1 booyah on their name and total of 90 points. Look at the elimination points from TSG Army, which stands with the difference of 30 points already from number 1 and number 2. Assassin Army has got 29 elimination points, and which adds up to, if you add 30 more eliminations, then you can reach to the marker of Team TSG. They are more relied on elimination points, and there is no competition there because number 1 and number 2 has got total of 29 points of buffer. Still a long way to go. 4 maps down already. Kalahari by far being one of the most interesting maps forever.
Yeah, Kalahari definitely was very interesting, and I'm so glad that I got to cast Kalahari because I knew that this map would live up to all the reputation, and it did. It was absolutely beautiful. Like, the nostalgia is hitting me really hard, but what's really hitting everyone else hard is TSG Army. 30 points difference, and all of that difference coming from just eliminations as well. My God, that's some next level of domination. I hope that in the next map the other teams are able to recover. But before we go there, we're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. See you on the other side.
Yeah, like it's set in stone. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, yeah, it's time to bring the heat. Yeah. We compete, got a mutual enemy. And if it's up to me, I'm choosing you. Up in the sky, we'll never lose.
Lock and unload, we precise. I will take your advice. Got this energy up, we will take home the prize. So come get it, play this game. Showing all your skills, baby.
Let's raise the bar, ready to start, we'll never stop. Together we're off the chart.
No doubt we will get that. Roll out, never sit back,
Let's raise the bar, ready to start, we'll never stop. Together we're off the charts.
Yeah, I bet you will show them all your skills.
Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and who better to come back on the desk than this man whom I started my career with. I've always been in debt to him in teaching me a few things as well. But yes, it's a little bit MO to come back and learn things from him yet again. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are watching Free Fire Max Pro League by Skyesports. On the desk with me is Crips, and I still remember the first time I was casting with you. I was fumbling to pronounce your name right. And
Yeah,
you're kind of
a lot of people
irritated,
do
but this and this time around, I'm so happy that I can get things right. I can also entertain you to an extent. But speaking about entertainment, Assassin Army, what's gone into them?
I do not know, man. These guys keep on getting clutches upon clutches. I don't know which assassin they pray to, but they're certainly being blessed. And they kind of lived up to the name of the assassin army, right? They were so sneaky towards the end over there. Prince was just lying low. And normally we expect assassin army to be super aggressive and whatnot, but when the time is right, they actually live up to their name. They actually behaved like a bunch of assassins. He stood there, or rather laid down there, waiting for the right time to strike, and then he got the booyah. So yeah, that's insane. But again, coming back from Assassin Army to you, nice to see you again as well, Arka. I guess we're all a little bit emotional and a little nostalgic today, right? Yeah.
Oh yes, I can give you a touche for that. But again, you know, since you already spoke about Assassin Army being aggressive, actually they were aggressive in the first two maps, but things were not working out for them. I love the way they changed their momentum, they changed their ideology of being a little bit aggressive to immediately becoming defensive in the next two games, which is working out for them in certain ways where it's hard for us to explain. But at the same time, another team which has impressed me the most in the past two games has to be Vasio Esports, because they challenged the big bull TSG after getting two good games. They were knocked out by Vasio in the third game, and they did not expect that out of syllabus question.
Yeah, Vasio Esports, I mean, they kind of were like an out-of-syllabus surprise question. But even though Vasio Esports were not at the absolute top this game, they still had double-digit eliminations. So I'm still happy that they are really making a lot of progress. They might not be able to climb all the way onto the top for this particular game, but the consistency is what matters over here. And they're still very strong in the top 6, which is where the teams aspire to be on the first day itself. So all in all, even though Vasio Gaming are not as dangerous as they once were, they still have quite a lot of firepower, and they are a very strong force to be reckoned with.
Now, here comes a point. Like, Vasio has got another IGL within his line. So in case Vasio decides that I'm going to step out a little bit, I'm going to allow my teammate to kind of, come in and involve over here, that is where things can be a bit more interesting. But with all these things, it's time for us to come down to the most important part of it all, that is trying to predict who can be leading the fight or who can do better in the upcoming map, because it's a very different map altogether. Nexterra, what are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I have no clue. I've never seen a professional game on Nexterra, so I am ready to be surprised. Of course, Kalahari lived up to the hype because I knew what that map is all about, but I'm really excited to see what Nexterra brings to the table. It's going to be a breath of fresh air, Arka. So without further ado, let's jump into the game.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, the next map on your screen, so get ready to be mind blown, as this new map is going to challenge each and every team out there, and the flight path couldn't have been perfect. more perfect than this, to be frank, because starting off from square, ending towards the intellect center, I see around 3 to 4 small islands over here, or rather make it 2 small islands and one big one. But still, this island seems to be pretty challenging because it's all about the urban affair and the close range battles where you'll have to know to traverse through these buildings to trap your enemies before you take them down.
Ooh, interesting point. Intellect Center, currently occupied by Boss Army. You have PN Rose. They're also heading towards the northwest. Turbine. This could be an early fight over here. Prince lands in the vicinity of Total Gaming, but yeah, of course, he's just going to take the zipline back towards the center. And I was actually surprised because he might just have run into a teammate from Bin Z. Meanwhile, plenty of fights to be expected towards Deca Square and Mudside. You have TSG and Vasio Esports in very close proximity of each other, Darka.
Yeah, they've already started tagging each other, and it seems like they've started to become that kind of because the drop clashes have become the new open secret for them. Vasio Esports still trying to counter TSG, and look what happens. TSG trying to push back VE to step back away from the Deca Square region, whereas on the other side, Non-Stop Gaming have to bring in 2 pointers over here. Non-Stop Gaming have been playing phenomenally well in the recent scrim they have been playing, but all of a sudden it seems like something is not going well.
Yeah, not going well. Aztec down. Of course, he's going to be brought back instantly. No time wasted at all by Non-Stop Gaming. They obviously do not stop, but Bin Z are also in a bit of trouble. You've got Total Gaming trying to puncture them down. And the moment one of them gets destroyed, Ganaru brings them back. Struggle. Up in his face, turns around to shoot Pratik. And he dismisses right in time. Lovely use of the abilities, but he does get traded after all. And he will be finished off. Anubhav tries to jump in, tries to help him out. The instant revival comes through, but they will still go down again. Struggle and Anubhav now both down. Pratik doing so much work for his team. Meanwhile, Aztec, he has just made landfall. Just got revived once again by his team. And he's going to be up in a 1v1 against Mokria. Aztec comes into the window. Mokria tries to connect. Saves himself out of there with the dashes. And these both players are just playing a chess game. It's almost like a game of tag rather than a fight. And finally, Aztec puts him down.
And I was expecting the Tatsuya ability to be used a little later than that, but throwing it back when you're actually using that ability obviously makes you a bigger target. I was expecting something much more better from their side, but lesson learned the hard way. There'll be Pratik now trying to put definitely M18. And I don't think so he's connecting any shots with that. Yes, on the other side, Pratik, yes, he does connect those shots. Whereas at a distance, the love story which was brewing up seems to be taking a little bit of a harder turn as both these teams have come in close proximity with one another.
I didn't think it was much of a love story to begin with, Arka. Unless your definition of a love story is extremely toxic, where people just beat each other up with weapons in a virtual battlefield. Yeah, then bring it on. Then I'm all up for love stories. But here we have Legend. TSG versus Vasio Esports. These both teams have been facing each other again and again. Legend knows there's somebody on top. Siddharth trying to provide cover fire from the other side of the window, but he tries to go in for the pre-fire. Both these players are up close. And here you go. Krishik tries to go for the jump shot, falls down instead, and Legend connects the shot onto Kaushik. And there you have Predator trying to provide some long-range fire, but he knows this is a lost cause. Kaushik and Anshu cannot be brought back. They cannot be avenged, so Predator might as well just leave this area and hope to live to fight another day. Manish barely surviving, 22 health. You know for a fact that TSG are going to chase him down, but will he have enough time to escape?
Yes, he might.
There's one chance of hope. Assassin Army are also here. He can hope that TSG get distracted by Assassin Army, and they are indeed. They're shooting Assassin Army down. Legend down on his knees now.
I mean, what a time to smash the iron. Couldn't have been any hotter, but the TSG Army, after losing a player, will now step back to that defensive front, and they do not want to now chase behind Manish because they'll be stepping out in the open, right? And that's going to cost them more than a player. But I like this maturity coming in from the side of TSG. They have been doing the same thing. When they feel there's a threat coming in closer, they become proactive and try to come up with a new kind of a strategy. They don't shy on being a bit defensive. It's not in their gameplay to be always aggressive throughout the game.
Yeah, it's all about striking a balance, knowing when to aggress, knowing when to go get your teammates back up. Just like you saw now, Vasio Esports, they had lost Kaushik and Anshu, but they're back up. Oh my god, TSG. Look at that. The moment Legend goes down, one of his teammates instantly brings it back. And that's just how you know that one of your teammates will go in, try to harass the other team, get a fight because there is an escape card available. You have another life available as well.
Absolutely. And that's the best part of Free Fire Max. You need to have your assaulters always in this game. No matter what you do, the roles need to be precise as well. And as of now, look at what Ash is doing from the higher grounds. He's going to be using the glue wall, but at the same time, the electrotherapy is going to be so much more crucial. He has healed up his teammate and sent them forward with a shotgun. Struggle. I hope he doesn't live by his name. He's prepared. He's got backup at the given point of time. And level up. He falls back because he needs to stay in the scope of his teammate.
Yeah, it's very important to make sure that you keep fighting in places where your teammates can actually give you some cover fire. And that's why Level Up stays on the periphery of this compound now. Hashtag supreme movement gets out of there, but Struggle is indeed struggling. He's been brought down already. Anubhav also tries to get out of there, but Level Up! That was a lovely shot. Non-stop gaming are out.
I just loved every bit of that action, the quick scopes. And also, from the moment he understood that it's not going to be possible, what he did was taking it slow. The calm aim came into existence and then suddenly everything went in their favor. And Shanku, what a way to climb up this cover. At the same time, something backfires. The grenade was not meant to be hitting him back, but the projectile was a little bit bad.
Yeah, projectile could have been better, but it seems like Shanku is gonna be facing Ash in a 1v1 again on the high ground. Shanku tries to go around, lovely connection with the shotgun, and he puts down a glue wall so he can't be traded, but Hemu will find him regardless. Ash and Licky trying to go around the other side. Licky falls instantly. It's all up to her. Shotgun battle between him and Wolvin. He drives inside the Chrono Shield, and Wolvin will still come out on top. What a fight by John T Gaming. Wolvin still taking damage. Has to get out of there. Will be able to heal himself. Not too much pressure from the blue zone, but this is a little problematic. While John T Gaming have been able to win out the fight for the time being, Total Gaming are aware about their presence and they might just stop them from entering.
Now, Total Gaming have been clever when it comes to this point. They always tend to gatekeep any team which is taking a fight. They see a threat, they understand there's a fight going on, they know that this team is going to be vulnerable, and the only way for them to make it into the circle is a certain path. They predict that path, they guard it well, and they pick up those frags as well. Whereas on the other side, look at how Kaushik is going to go head on with the opponents with the P90, takes down a player. Jigsaw needs to be careful, but a proper trade comes in over there. Jigsaw, the right kind of backup from the side of Desi Army, and it seems like now things are starting to fall in place for this team.
Yeah, Desi Army might have just recovered with this one. 2 eliminations secured. And they don't have any immediate teams in danger. Nice shot by Car98 Army as well. These guys are indeed unstoppable. 10 eliminations for them already, Arka. That's a lot of points in just a single game. And you still have plenty of other players open for the pickings.
Now, this is what I was speaking about, right, Crips? This is going to be a game changer map. When you're trying to play your default maps and all of a sudden a new map comes into play, even though the day is not going good for you, you'll understand you have nothing to lose, and then a predator comes out from inside you and it eventually makes you play aggressively. And that is what K98 are doing right now. Yeah. Total Gaming on the other side, still trying to hold their composure. Fawzia Jai knows exactly how to hold his teammates under his control. And he's not got any beast with him. He's got the deadliest of them all. Insane, Delete. We have seen these people perform. Each of them capable of doing a 1v2 and a 1v3.
Yeah, these guys are all clutches.
Oh, Delete! 1v2! There goes one, there goes two. Whereas on the other side, the retaliation continues, but Delete not gonna stop. Gonna live up to his name. Gets 4 frags straight.
Wow. That's a massive squad wipe from Delete. Really fast frags, and he's put Total Gaming back up in the running. Meanwhile, PSG continue to live up to their reputation. 8 eliminations. Relatively a slower game from them because we've just seen them do so much. But as they enter the zone once again, they're going to have one solo member, Sahil, from PN Rose next to them. And even ahead of that is going to be Desi Army. It seems like Sahil might just get pinched. 2 teams approaching him at the same time from 2 different directions. He really needs to count his lucky stars. He really needs to hope that nobody spots him. But speaking of spotting, Delete has Varsio Gaming right next to him. Kaushik taking a bunch of damage from the shots outside. Delete trying to find an angle. Can't really get another vantage point through the window. It's Legend actually who gets him. And Delete once again on fire. His 5th frag of the game. And he's really living up to his competitive reputation.
Absolutely, but I love the way Insane is trying to give him the right kind of support. Every single time Delete is there, there's somebody to bait out the opponents. There's somebody to help him out when it comes to the close range battles, and he has to give a lot of credits. Anshu on the other side, what a Tatsuya ability being used, rushes right into the faces of the enemy, trying to put them down. One player down, but eventually gets traded off. But he's already done the deed, if I'm not wrong. K98, 11 eliminations, and they're still being shot at.
K98 really have to make this a massive game. They know they have the firepower to go up against these big names, but as they approach the zone, they might not have all the cover they require. They do have the high ground though. Gyan Ninja right underneath them. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this one. It's Jaunty Gaming going up against HTG, and plenty of throwables being tossed at them. Utilities exchange on either side. But this is a rather slow fight. There's way too many people in between them. And while this fight is happening, even P and Rose will be eliminated, Arka. But here you have lovely headshot. Level up, connects the shot onto Lawyer. And now that's his cue to rush right in. They will be able to get Lawyer back upon his feet. So that's what happens when you have instant revivals. But both these teams now up on a raised, elevated platform. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You have to go up. 4v4 fight.
HTG, 12 eliminations already. That means they're confident. They know how to take this fight. But what I loved about them is the way they deployed the blue wall melter. They made sure the opponents who are rushing in towards them do not have the capability of using blue walls, trying to restrict them. But Jaunty Gaming, they were the clever ones if you ask me. Whereas on the other side, they need to be careful. Level up continuously. It's being tagged off over here. Mokria. The frontline defense seems to be working perfect for the side of HTG. And all of a sudden, they're going to go a little bit offensive. And guess what? Another glue wall mentor comes in. Now the push is inevitable.
My god, Arka, this fight is turning into a bit of a stalemate. But the moment I say that, another finish comes through. Wolvin down and finished off. Level up also in quite a lot of danger. Ash is just going to get out of there. He doesn't want to stay up on this elevated platform anymore. He dives straight into the waiting arms of K98. HTG might have a chance to recuperate themselves. And Jaunty Gaming, in an attempt to get out of there, will get out of the game. They have been eliminated.
What a moment of the game this was. HTG playing it so clever, where I thought that they might get taken down. They've done a different story altogether. Whereas on the other side, TSG. Now every bit of this angle, every bit of that headshot, they see Army back into the lobby.
Sadak was the MVP last game, and now he's truly showing us why. The last beacon of his team. 14 eliminations strong. Siddharth tries to face all the players of HTG by himself. And even though he doesn't have the numbers advantage, he is not going to shy away from this fight. He's going to keep the pressure on. Lawyer down. And at this time, HTG are getting shot by Team K98 Army as well. So they have to fight a battle on 2 fronts. Finally, one of those fronts will be liberated. The last solo surviving member of that team will be knocked out. So it's just down to these last 2 teams. 4v4 fight, Arka. This is the battle for the Booyah.
The battle of the Booyah. I'm thinking about the battle of the best of the 2 teams who could be present in this lobby. 16 eliminations one side, and also same goes the other side as well. Swastik dare go in front. Badal is just going to be accompanying him. Smokey is also gone up front as well. HTG, they need to be careful and look at what all utilities they still hold in their pockets. They're deploying every single one of them and also healing themselves every single time a player comes in closer. I do believe that HTG have a greater advantage. All they have to do is always revive the teammates as they push in.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have the instant revival ability. The moment you get a knock, you can get your teammate back up, and it just becomes so annoying to fight against a team that keeps on coming back again and again. And Darshan thought he was safe, gets shot from the low ground. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Car 98 Army finally get their booyah.
98 Army. I did not see these devils in disguise. Oh my goodness, what a moment for them to make a comeback. I did not expect them to play this well as well, because in the previous 3 maps, it seems like they did not have a clue as to how to play the game. I know it might sound a little bit brutal, but that is how they look like. But all of a sudden, they're proving me wrong. They're teaching me a lesson not to underestimate any team, and this is how the cookie crumbled as Winsmoke. From the moment he knew that he had to head forward, he knew that his job is just to clear off whoever is getting tagged.
Yeah, whoever was getting tagged, they were getting brought back as well. And you were right. That's what happens when you have Thiva as well. Like the moment you lose one of those players, you can instantly get them back up. It's a very fast revival, and that's what it's like to face Car 98 Army. Keep in mind, they were getting shot by 2 different teams at the same time. Same with HDG, and no matter how much pressure you put on them, they just always seem to come out on top. Car 98 Army might not have had a very good start to this day. They might have struggled a little in the first few games. I don't blame you for criticizing them, Arka. Obviously, you expect them to do much more. You hold them to a higher standard. But like I said, this is one of those games where anything can happen. And we saw the tables being flipped in the previous game of Kalahari as well. The teams who were at the bottom got a chance to come out at the top. And this happens yet again.
I mean, this is where we would also like to speak about another character which was being used by Car 98, which usually people don't in a lobby like this. That is Casey in electrotherapy at the final moments. He knew that, he had to keep healing his teammates from the backlines, and that is how the distant player was able to bring up the final few frags. But coming back to what happening on our screens, Car 98, this is where they started things off. Look at how aggressive they were from the get-go.
Yeah, Assassin Army very aggressive from the get-go, and I'm so glad you also brought up the electrotherapy point and the healing point, because a lot of these players are also using Cassie. You don't really get to see Cassie being used quite a lot in like a tournament which doesn't enforce the fact that you have to use multiple active abilities. You can't repeat any of those abilities. So a lot of players over here getting pretty creative. But Tokyo Gaming Delete, now this is a guy who had so many eliminations to his name. I think he might just steal away the MVP title by himself, unless somebody else decides to get more than what he had. And the moment I say that Delete had an MVP-worthy performance, I take a look at Badal. He had 7 finishes. Even Prateek had 6 of them. Both HTG and Prateek, these guys, when they start raining down fire from that high ground, the elevated platform area, they are just so difficult to deal with.
Every single time I see that shot, always makes me say, wow, it always makes me feel so happy, because those headshots, the skull breaking, it's amazing. But this were the final moments of the game, and this is what I was speaking about, trying to use Casey at the final fight and then giving the right kind of backup. But K98 Badal, you were speaking about him trying to be one of the most valuable player, and there he is with 8 eliminations and 5 assists and a total of 3,592 damage.
Wow, 3,000. Okay, I think this might just be the highest of the day, right?
No,
Did anyone get more than him? I mean, I don't remember.
3,500 has been the new average for 2 to 3 players who have become the most valuable players so far.
Sheesh, that is a lot. 8 eliminations by Badal alone. I was impressed by Delete when he got 5 finishes, but yeah, Badal really performing out of his mind. So many eliminations by his team, majority of them contributed by Badal. This guy was up in the clouds.
Absolutely. And I hope he's ready for what's coming next, because 2 other games, another map is still in his hand, and that's going to be a game changer for sure. The more details is going to be given across, but for now, the team to be featured, the team who has performed so well. Look at that, 10 assists coming in from Winsmoke. Farhan gets 8 assists. Swastik gets 9 assists. Oh my goodness, these people were just helping the frontline assaulters to pick up eliminations.
Yeah, so many assists, and that's how you know Badal was set up for success beautifully. all of these assist numbers, these just prove to you that no matter where your assaulters are, you will be the ones to set them up for success. Amazing teamwork from Car 98. I was indeed worried about them when they got into that fight on the elevated platform, but at that time HCD just decided to dip out of there, and that's when they had the best possible place for themselves. Even though they were losing players, they were able to bring them back right then and there. And that's a massive game from them, Aka. 20 eliminations in total, 32 points in a single game. My God, that's ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous has been the word for the day, because the first game TSG played, they also had the similar points, 20 eliminations with 12 placement points and making it 32, whereas HTG, look at that, 20 eliminations as well. Two of these teams have got 40 eliminations in total. Shows that they decimated almost half of the lobby, or probably 3/4 of the lobby itself.
And we had such high expectations from Nonstop Gaming because they were able to win some of their earlier fights, and we saw those fights on screen as well. We wish them the best of luck. We thought they were going to have a nice game, but after that they were just kind of wiped out. 2 points for them. Boss Army also had a nice trade-off in the early battles, but after that one squad wipe, they were silenced. Bin Z Gaming also not able to contribute much, so all the teams who had a bit of a comeback in the previous game kind of fell short, which means that Nonstop Gaming, Boss Army and Desi Army will stay towards the bottom of this table, while TSG has crossed the 100-point mark already. Oh my God, 100 points, and you still have one more game left.
Exactly.
That is utter dominance. The gap between them and Assassin Army was 30 points at one, before this game, before the map of Nexterra. But now that gap has increased to 42 points. TSG Army just keeps on racing ahead of everyone. But this is what I was waiting for. HTG have overtaken Team P and Rose, and now they are tied with Assassin's Army at 70 each.
Now, the best part about this, about the HTG is right now not having any kind of booyahs, but still try to maintain the top 3 position. That shows of, you just concentrate on eliminations, you just concentrate on being in the top 3 or the top 5 in every single game. That's going to eventually push you to be in the top 3. But disappointment, yes, Boss Army and Desi Army are not able to still step up to the competition, but it's all about trying to stay in the top 12 of the overall standing to make it across into the next round. So let's see which among these teams are actually concentrating on that rather than trying to be on the top of the table. But TSG Army do the heavy lifting in the first few maps, then reap benefits out of it throughout the tournament itself.
Yeah, TSG Army are sailing towards the finals already. These guys have had a very smooth run on the first day itself, and this should give them quite a lot of buffer going into the next phase of the tournament. But we still have one more game left, ladies and gentlemen. I thought no teams would be able to reach the 80-point mark, and I was so wrong. These guys have gotten to the 100-point mark already. What's the last map going to be? The randomizer spins. It's Alpine.
Let's go. It's a unique map. I really wanted Alpine as the final map. When Tanya asked me in the beginning of the stream itself, I was like, okay, I want something like Alpine to come in so that those teams who are not able to perform throughout the day will have a game changer kind of a map. A new terrain altogether, a new topography altogether in comparison to Purgatory, Bermuda and Kalahari itself. So Alpine, I can expect a new team to take away a booyah.
I really hope that we get to see a new team taking away the booyah. So far, it's the usual suspects taking them away. Assassin Army also got away with 2 of them. And there are some teams who are able to get up into the top without a single booyah. That's also very impressive to watch. But for now, I would love to see if any team who is not already in the top 6 can make a comeback and jump in there. Of course, the objective over here is to just stay out of the bottom 6. So if any of them are able to make a comeback, that will make things extremely interesting.
No, for the fan favorite teams, right? They have a responsibility. They have a responsibility to make their fans rejoice, not only because Free Fire Max tournaments are back, but also that their team is able to register good booyahs on the day one itself. Total Gaming, one of those teams. I really want them to shine, so that they can add on to some more fireworks to the festival which is taking place. But as of now, Crips, I would like to go into the map analysis and try to break down as to what happened over here. Assassin Army, who had early control of a circle over here, but I really like the way from the get-go itself how they were being stopped, they were being challenged every single time. Assassin Army, they go in for a spread immediately as soon as they understood teams were trying to make it inside of the circle, and that is when all of a sudden we are able to see that non-stop gaming is trying to taunt and attack every single team, because they knew that either third partying is going to be one of the best scenarios for them. Vasio and Nonstop already had a great fight which was going on, but Jaunty Gaming on the other side, they were just watching everything happen over here. We also have to look at how Jaunty Gaming could make it into the circle, into the high peak region, whereas Assassin, the split which they had, we were able to see that Prince, the information all being relayed that Jaunty is now trying to make it inside of the circle. Guys, be prepared. And that is when the push happens. That is when they found that everybody else were vulnerable, and that is when they pushed in against Jaunty Gaming, and they were able to, put down one player at a time and level up the last man standing. They did not have to worry about the center of the circle, as the split worked out so perfectly for them. A person in the high grounds giving information and 3 players going ahead to pick up that buoy.
Yeah, and that's what good teamwork looks like. We've got a couple of players rushing in much further, and the others providing cover from afar. And depending on where your opponents are, you change who the frontliners are, who the backliners are. Like, there was a point when everybody was diving into the center, and Assassin Army had split into 2 different parts. 2 of them pressuring Jaunty Gaming, the 2 of them trying to steal as many eliminations from the other 2 straggling teams who are just brawling it out, duking it out there. So they are able to maximize their entire output, and it's not like anybody was taking too many shots at them as well, because they were on the periphery of the circle. They were pretty much safe, and all the other teams who were diving into the center just had their hands full. And Assassin Army, with not much to distract them from the goal, were able to steal not just the booyah, but also plenty of the finishes from the other teams who were duking it out. Surprisingly, I thought Jaunty Gaming in that situation would be one of the first ones to be wiped out, since they did not even have the numbers. But that's what happens when all the other teams just dive in head first, and the teams who get left towards the periphery are just stuck eating popcorn, enjoying the battles, while everyone else is just beating each other up.
Now, Jaunty Gaming did 2 things right. One, gain information. They did not let go of the high ground. They always had information of which team is where, who is trying to fight it out. Even at that split, they understood that, there's a team trying to come in from the right, so they did not go to get involved into any kind of fights. The second thing what they did right was letting the other teams fight it out first, and then try to third party. So my enemy's enemy is always my friend, and that is how you need to understand this game, because it's a battle royale game, and then try to execute it. More of such analysis will be coming your way, guys. But Crips, the final map, Alpine. Now, this is not a map which is so well known in the competitive scenes in comparison to the default maps. But if you had to say that one team could use their experience to play better in this game, which team would it be?
I think it would have to be Vasio Esports. They are some of the most experienced ones in the entire lobby. And I'm sorry. In the previous game of Alpine, they had plenty of eliminations. In fact, I could almost think that they would have been able to win if the second last circle did not force them to abandon their compound. I think they would have had a lovely advantage. But that's just my prediction, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I'm going to be right. I actually hope I'm going to be wrong, so that we get surprised and hopefully some other contender rises up to the top, ladies and gentlemen. The last map of the game is about to begin. The randomizer has decided we are going to be flying over the skies of Alpine anytime soon.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, the final map of the day, as my friend already pointed out, it's going to be Alpine. But the flight path, it's going to predict a lot of people's fate, and it seems like it's going to favor each and every team out there, as the flight path diagonally dissects the map into 2 equal halves, respecting each other's drop location. Everybody can head on to their favorite spots, loot, and then come in. You know what the game is. It is a match. It's going to just love you to go all haywire.
BinZ Gaming got into a bit of trouble towards Garrison last time. They had an early fight, and this time it seems like nobody will contest them. Vasio Esports spreading out quite a lot. Railroad occupied by them, a tiny bit of Carousel as well. But Total Gaming will definitely want to hunt Kaushik down since he's quite away from his team. Meanwhile, you've got Jaunty Gaming dropping to his fusion. And there's plenty of neighbors over here who they do not have amicable relations with. Even HTG and Nonstop Gaming, these guys might end up duking it out as well towards Blueville. I'm sorry, not towards Blueville. If I'm not wrong, this is Base Cap. Pardon me for that one. Struggle. Spotted our lawyer. Shots taken as well. Will he be able to connect? Plenty of damage dished out, but Anubhav also taking a bit of damage from the other side. So it looks like the flank has not been successful from Nonstop Gaming.
Yep, the information is already relayed that there's somebody in the vicinity. So everybody's bodies have turned into ice. Binoculars being used at a distance. Now, one of the best ways for you to get information as to who is present where. And look at how they used it. They used it to eradicate one corner of the map so that they can come in immediately, capture that hard compound, and then try to converge in against the opponents. Very well usage of this ability.
Oh my god, this is a hardcore battle. HGG going full send in towards the compound. Struggle already down on his knees. It's Aztec trying to provide cover fire with the 390. Dashes across the glue wall to get the angle, and he connects the shot. Even Anubhav strikes. That's a lovely knock, and within a matter of seconds, HTG Esports are out of this game. Destroyed in seconds. Nonstop Gaming had a very, very unfortunate loss in the previous game. This time, they avenged themselves. Vindication acquired.
HTG. It's hard for me to believe this was the team we were referring to have maximum eliminations and still be in the top 3 without any booyah. But it seems like this time around somebody has read them right. There's on the other side Assassin Army. Now Assassin Army, you look at this lineup, even they look very promising. What they're trying to do. Whereas on the other side, before we speak about Assassin Army, BZs, even they've gone bonkers. They've already started to chase the team, put down players after players. Assassin Army as well. All they need to do is find out this last man from the side of Desi Army. In case they do, that means it's the end of the story for Desi Army yet again.
Yeah, Smarty has to go a long way to get away from Assassin Army who are pursuing him. Meanwhile, we did witness a very, very difficult battle between Nonstop Gaming and their opponents. And Nonstop Gaming actually did lose a couple of their players. They have been respawned already. So Nonstop Gaming using quite a lot of their tokens. Now let's witness this battle between Total Gaming and Vasio. That's going to be a very good one. Unch almost went down over there. Mafia raining down from top, Fozi Ajay raining down from the side. Vasio Esports have 2 angles to worry about, and the only thing that could keep them safe is if they dive inside this circular building.
Oh.
Kaushik tries to do exactly that, but Insane wins the battle, knocks him down with the shotgun. Predator has been rezzed, but will he be able to heal before Fozi Ajay closes in the distance? Vasio Esports, they managed to revive Kaushik as well. But will that be enough? Because Total Gaming, they seem to be putting so much pressure on them. Revive comes through. That's a fast one as well. Delete manages to get the angle on Dafiq, and Prince from afar trying to provide cover fire for his teammates, but he just simply does not have the angles. Looks like Honey and AimGod are in this by themselves. Dafiq tries to blow apart his opposition, uses the movement to catch up with them, but Boss Army, they turn around the tables. They isolate him, they exterminate him, and now more blue was put up to make sure that the trades can't be taken. Even Honey is down on his knees. Boss Army are teaching Assassin Army a lesson.
Boss Army, look at the amount of eliminations they've raked up already. Each and every player from this team is right now contributing. Seems like the communication is going right. Whenever we see a player, pick up equal number of frags and number of players within a team do this, that shows that every communication, everything within the team, the call-outs, everything is going right. And I hope it continues until the final moments of this game. The 2 big bulls were locking on, right? Vasio and Total Gaming. It's the rivals who would lock into this. We want to know what happened out there.
I would like to know that too, but I guess it's gonna be a rhetorical question. Hold on. Did he just drive past the last member of Desi Army without realizing he was there?
Yes, he did.
Okay. I guess Desi Army get to live to fight another day. I don't know if they'll be able to get their teammates back up though. Meanwhile, Total Gaming in a bit of trouble. They're clashing against Non-Stop Esports, and Foziaja is already down.
From one side, and he's got to be revived very, very easily. Look at what's happening over here. Another healer, another person who's going to be taken from Boss Army. Seems like every single shot they're trying to pick is doing perfectly, and with the blink of an eye, I believe a team has been eliminated. Or rather, all three players got eliminated, and they see Army, as well as Total Gaming, players from at a distance are still getting revived.
Yeah. Total Gaming, they might be able to get their players back up. Foziaja flying down to the ground once again, but they are landing outside the zone. And while they try to go inside the zone, Non-Stop Gaming might just get in their way. The monster truck is rolling towards them. They saw them land on the other side, and now they spotted Mafia getting inside the vehicle. So that's going to be a vehicle-on-vehicle action as well. That would be some insane Free Fire Max to witness. But on the other side, you've got TSG clashing against Vasio Esports once again. These two teams just cannot leave each other alone, Arka.
It has to be because Vasio have been targeting them after the second map. They made sure that they weakened the side of TSG, and that's the only way for them to climb up the ladder. You need to slap down the king, or else there's no way you're going to get a throne, right? And that is what they've been doing, and now they've just angered the beast. And that's why TSG, every single time they have an opportunity, they want to take down the side of Vasio Esports. Right there in their heart, so that next time they don't dare to do something like this.
I guess it's going to take more than that to strike fear into the hearts of Vasio Esports. I mean, they are one of the more experienced in this lobby, but they are going up against the most experienced team, Total Gaming. There is quite a lot of history between Vasio and Total Gaming. Foziaja, once upon a time, the IGL of this team, is trying to force Manish out into the open, and he will be embraced by Krish's bullets. The AUG. This could be interesting. Foziaja still trapped, still surviving. Putting down glue wall upon glue wall. He's finally been pressured into the open, and Total Gaming is out.
TSG. Execution to perfection. And the way they lured out Vasio Gaming was also really nice. Usage of FGL 24. You know, the flamethrowers which come right behind the glue wall or the hard cover, forcing the opponents to come out. You know, I just love when this was introduced.
Well, take a look at this, Arka. While we were witnessing so many fights, it's just chilling. Same with Bin Zed. I'm pretty sure they must have spotted it now, but none of these teams want to go out and actually pick up this. I mean, gone are the days when you could get a knock and start rushing the opponent team. Now it's so easy to revive teammates. That has to be a way of initiating a fight. I guess confirming the knock is as good as a initiation as it is. Heimu down, John G Gaming. They can, of course, try to hold on to their own, but Boss Army doesn't seem to spare their lives. Binoculars used once again just to ensure they're getting shot by only one team. Checking for any potential third parties in the vicinity.
Yep. But it's militia. It's a very, very big compound region. And you can just navigate between 2-3 places if you have got those launchers. And that's what the teams are doing right now. An ample amount of loot as well. Let's not forget that. Look at that. Immediately, token machine. Token shop has been used and the player is back in the game. But can he land safely? Because lately we're able to see that whoever gets revived, they've always been targeted even before they land. Hopefully, I don't what's happening to Mikapi and Rose. Trying to tag off PSG. They're trying to pinch the bear. And are they prepared for what's coming next?
I hope that was a rhetorical question because I genuinely do not have an answer. I don't know if any of them are prepared. I don't know if I'm prepared to witness this much carnage. P and Rose finally revealing their positions, taking plenty of pot shots as the teams start approaching the center. And you have Bartle out in the open, destroyed by Krish, finished off instantly. That's the MVP of the previous game taken out of the picture.
Absolutely. But again, Non-Stop Gaming all of a sudden are coming to show their true colors. Non-stop gaming, this is how we had previously seen them, if not today, in the recent scrims which we have been witnessing. They have been one of the hooligans of the lobby, to be frank. They tend to pounce on anybody who let them be weak, let them be hale and healthy. They've always converted this 4v4s, and it seems like they want to end the day on a high note.
Yeah, everybody wants to end the day on a high note, but TSG, they are a cut above the rest. If there is a word for being higher than everyone else, then these guys have ascended to a next level. Boss Army, though. The sudden lull in the action allows them to contemplate about what to do, but the moment I say they're contemplating, they take some shots, and that's Divine getting a lovely knock. And you get the confirmation, though. Honey and Dafik in the open, using blue walls to close in on each other, struggle with the P90. Trying to go across. Jump shot,
nice.
not connected, but he will have to fight in a little bit. Dafik deploying utility, also making sure that he's able to navigate all across. This is the massive chain of faults that they've created around each other. But Aztec and Struggle are trying to get on the high ground. Honey and Dafik try to move in. Abilities used to keep themselves dismissed, and they save each other. Trades just simply not possible. This fight is dragging on for so long. Dafik finally gets the knock, but he's been instantly traded out as well. Once again, revived. It's almost like Assassin Army are impossible to kill. These guys are getting each other up so fast. Prince finally finished off. That's how you ensure that Assassin Army cannot get back up. But K98, they just got 3 of their teammates back up. That's a mass survival happening over there.
Absolutely. Assassin Army, 11 eliminations, and it seems like before they get taken down, they want to rake up as many frags as possible, as many eliminations as possible. Tawfiq, he's got a great responsibility over here. He needs to evade from this fight, and also let's not forget that he has to revive his teammates as well. It's not going to be easy because he's going to be shot at from all different directions. Is he going to be put out of his misery? Yes, he will be. In the name of Warrior comes his death, and there he goes back into the lobby.
Desi Army, they've survived for quite a long time, but they only have 2 eliminations to their name. Things are gonna get quite dicey from here. Vasio Esports around this tent. They've got Bin Zed cornered, but Vasio need to finish this fight very quickly because Jaunty Gaming are right behind them. This might turn into a very awkward situation. Bin Zed, carefully covering the entrances of this tent with blue walls, have kept themselves locked in. They're forcing Vasio Esports and Jaunty Gaming to fight each other, and Vasio Gaming are getting bombarded. Plenty of abilities activated on the ground, and now they decide to chime in. Now Vasio Gaming taking too many shots, level up with a double finish as well. Jaunty Gaming instantly wipe out Vasio.
I never expected Vasio to be in such kind of a peculiar situation where they're going to be shot at 4 different directions, and all they did was run around with no head. I really want to see Jaunty Gaming now come up with some really good sniper shots because they have the capability. Hemo has been registered them recently. Whereas on the other side, we have the side of BZs now rushing in towards the side of BN Rose probably. And I don't think so it's going to be a healthy affair.
Absolutely not. Jaunty Gaming, they did manage to wipe out Vasio, but now they are the ones in pressure. Getting shot by both Bin Zed as well as Boss Army. This could be a difficult battle to deal with, but Boss Army currently have their hands full with TSG. That's a whole different fight happening on the other side. TSG Krish finally manages to get the knock onto Harsh, but now Boss Army will finally be eliminated. TSG have just a few seconds to heal themselves back up and focus in on this battle which is about to start. Jaunty Gaming knocking on the doors of Bin Zed. Nades being tossed out, and they are going to take the left-hand side of the tent, breach open the blue walls, break the doors in, kick it down. But Bin Zed are still trying to keep Jaunty Gaming. They're trying to keep them out of this tent. They're screaming, "This is my house and you better get out of here."
Now, the blessing in this fight has to be another team from a different in the name of PN Rose. But what's happening over here? Jaunty Gaming finally trying to meet them. Akers giving up the last man standing. And I don't think so he's going to survive any longer. But what a gameplay coming in from the side of BCs. 5 eliminations already. They waited for the iron to get hot. And when they stuck, it shattered into pieces.
Shattered indeed. And now they're going to race into the zone with the monster truck. Yan Subo parks it, disembarks. He's got Sidak in his crosshairs, but Sidak will be taken down indeed. TSG quite a lot of trouble for them, as they also are down to their last player. And will they be able to survive before they go out? They might just be able to eliminate one more team, but they see Army get the better of them. They see Army now have Non-Stop Gaming out of this picture as well. And what a wipeout! This was such a colossal booyah, chaotic all the way to the end. And it's finally clutched by BinZ Gaming.
BinZ Gaming, we wanted a new team to be emerging the winners and take away the booyah, and it seems like our prayers have been heard, Cribs. And I believe that, they did everything right in this game. Hold the hard compounds inside of the circle. Make sure that you do not strike until the opponents have made the right kind of mistake. Once the blue came in and did not have anything else to do but, succumb to the crosshairs of the opponents, that is when BCs just stepped in. And this was the final moments of the game where they took fights from 4 different directions but still were able to register the final one for themselves.
BinZ Gaming, I love how they were just able to keep every team out of their tent, just constantly replenishing the glue walls as soon as they were broken. I mean, it was so funny to see that 2 teams were trying to get inside that tent and they managed to keep them away from them for so long. The first team that came knocking at the door, they were just trying to break the glue walls, enter the tent and actually pick up a fair fight. But BinZ Gaming were like, nope, I'm gonna close the door in your face. You stay out of here. And the team outside, desperately trying to get in, was completely destroyed by Jonty Gaming. They were desperately trying to get inside, but they didn't even realize that they were getting shot from the outskirts, and Jonty Gaming were the ones who actually helped BinZ Gaming get all those eliminations.
Yeah, you were referring to Vasio, who was just trying to make it inside. But I really like it again. I would like to bring to your attention the usage of KC. The electrotherapy which was happening inside the tent, right? And BZ, every single time they were stepping out, they were always being healed. They knew exactly what agent to be used. And the best part is this, slowly we were able to understand that 2 of these agents are going hand in hand. Obviously, one is going to be KC and the other one has to be Rebel or Satsuya. If one person is ready to heal, the other person is moving around every single time and making sure he's picking up frags. What better combo do you need in a close range battle?
Yeah, one of them just making sure that the movement is on point, being a vet, and the other person racking up the healing numbers. That's how you know that your team is fully in sync, making sure that your enemies are so confused. I mean, now we are finally getting to see Tatsuya being properly used, and I think we got to see one of those moments in this fight where if a person dives in first, he gets locked out by the enemy glue walls, and then his teammates have to use Tatsuya to just bridge the gap and hopefully get those trades. Otherwise, their teammate would have died for nothing. Mafia. Yeah, he was plucked off trying to escape in that monster truck, and the same fate awaited Fauzi Ajay. Cornered over here, finally wiped out. It was a difficult situation for him to be in, but at least for his team as a whole, it's been a decent day. So hopefully they can recover from this loss. Assassin Army though, as always, they were going finish hungry, picking up plenty of fights, but this time there were plenty of teams who could actually give them a run for this money. And now we finally see BinZ Gaming. You were right, Arka. I mean, there was a point when they locked out Vasio Gaming out of the picture, and then when Jonty Gaming came knocking in, they waited for them to get low on health, used the heals properly, and got out just when everybody else was super, super weak.
And the fake, look at the amount of damage he's dealt this time for just 5 elimination and 3 assists, a total of 3,052 damage. The number speaks for itself, but with this, it's good for us to say that his teammates have also shared some equal amount of eliminations and damage as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that his teammates would have quite a lot of eliminations to contribute as well. As always, Assassin Army have been racking up those damage numbers, those elimination numbers, dishing out the punishment. But because they did not make it into the top 3 this time, they might suffer a bit because of the placement points. And like you pointed out, the damage does not match the number of eliminations he has, which kind of shows you how frustrating it is to fight against some of these teams at long range, because the moment you get a knock, their teammates are able to pick up their fallen comrades back up on their feet, and you can keep getting damage more and more and more, but unless you find a way to quickly confirm those knocks and turn them into eliminations, you're not going to be able to get a lot of advantage out of all that damage.
Absolutely. And look at what has happened over here. BZs, the way they performed, the way they've held on to their nerves, and finally, I guess this is the only team to have the least amount of damage dealt in a game. Look at that. Total itself doesn't come up to 4,000. If my math is right. Somewhere around 3,009, yeah, 4,200 in total damage is what this team has dealt. Whereas we have seen players come in single-handedly trying to rake up almost 3,500 to 4,000 damage. So a good game coming in from the side of BZs.
Yeah, it was a good game from them, even though they didn't really go finish hungry, even though they didn't really get a lot of damage. They played very smartly. They basically got the other teams to do their dirty work for them, Marka. Like, why should we pick up all the fights? Why should we take the risk when we can just hold our compound, activate the Cassie ability, get the tether healing going on, and keep all the teams away from our little tent?
That's one clever way to play this game. But ladies and gentlemen, the game standings on our screens, it seems like this time around everybody had a piece of the pie. Until the 8th position, we were able to see that players have had decent amount of points, making it a double digit. Jaunty at 8th position with 11, Non-Stop Gaming with 14, with them with their firepower doing the talking of 13 eliminations. Assassin Army replicating what they did, but a little bit better in the placement points. A total of 14 points for them as well. Boss Army, PN Rose, TSG, Daisy Army, all close to one another with just 1 or 2 point difference. But it was all BZs who have got a total of 20 points with 8 eliminations only.
Yeah, 8 eliminations for them. But even PN Rose, these guys have... PN Rose have 6 elimination points. But you take a look at all the other teams who are tied up at the 14-point marker. PN Rose, Boss Army, Assassin Army, Non-Stop Gaming, all of them with 14 points each in this game. Does that affect the overall standings? Yes, it does. Vasio Gaming slipping a couple of points down, now to the 5th position. HTG Esports and PN Rose still competing against each other for the 3rd and 4th spot. But Assassin Army, even though this was a pretty big game from them, they are not able to bridge the gap against TSG Army, who just seem to be racing miles ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, do the hard work in the beginning itself and then reap benefits for all the seeds you've sown. TSG Army, 127 points. The fans are going to be very, very happy with the performance. Total Gaming, an average day for them. The point difference between them at the 8th position to the 2nd position is hardly 20 to 30 points. One good game and anybody can take that 2nd position. The MVP, 24 eliminations in a single day. 2-time MVP is the star for the side of TSG. Legend 21 with a total of 13,542 damage in the 6 maps which they played.
Yeah, he is truly the MVP. 24 eliminations in a single day is insane. He single-handedly has more eliminations than some of the teams at the bottom. That's how dominant this player is. And the only player who's done more damage than him is his own teammate, Sadak, who has been spot on with all the snipers that he's able to get his hands on.
Absolutely. Almost 15,000 damage coming from his side. 26 eliminations. For those who are wondering how come he's on the hashtag one, is because he was MVP 2 times for his team, and it all matters when the team needs the most. But elimination leader, this is where the numbers speak for itself. Sidak 07 is going to be on top of the mountain. He's got 26 eliminations in this in today's game, and we can expect him to be the top contender for the 20,000, the MVP of this tournament itself.
Yeah, so far he's put his hat in the ring for the tournament MVP. Let's see if over the next few days somebody else is able to get in there with him or no. Closely followed by him is Legend. You also have Level Up, who has been hitting some insane shots today. Krish from TSG, obviously making him the 3rd player from this particular team. That's what happens. Like, take a look at this. Like, out of the top 5 players, 3 of them belong to TSG. Now you know why they are at 127 points at the end of just day 1.
it's all about firepower. It's all about you gaining those elimination points, and that is what I keep saying. The new meta favors so much for those teams who tend to dare and step into the vicinity of the opponents, who tend to dare go challenge them when you have that 1v3 split. Just rely on your teammate and be strong that he's going to revive you no matter what, and the rest of the things will fall in place. Cribs, I couldn't have asked for a better day, a better start. But if you were very happy with the team, name them and as to why. And if you were sad about the team, name them as to why.
I was sad about Desi Army. They lost quite a lot of their fights early on, and it seemed like as soon as they would try to respawn their teammates, they would get hunted once again. Like their teammates would have barely touched the ground and they would already have a couple of enemies on them. So I do feel a little bad about them. But that being said, this is Free Fire Max. That's what happens when you try to call in your players. You will attract a lot of attention. I do feel quite happy about Assassin Army, especially about Prince. He became the MVP in one of those games where he was on top of a house, and it wasn't even that much of it wasn't even that much of a vantage point. So he got the MVP in that game by covering fire for his teammates, and in the next game he was able to grab the booyah. So I'm really happy for them. Not even the team, I'm really happy for just Prince in particular. But ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the interview and see what these top stars have to say.
सर आज का डे कैसे हैं आप?
आज का तो देखा ही आपने कैसा रहा. बढ़िया था आज बहुत.
नहीं, वो बाकियों के लिए कैसा था वो उसके पूछने वाले. बाकी बिल्कुल तड़प रहे थे वहाँ पे.
बाकियों के लिए भी दिख जाएगा स्टैंडिंग में भी.
ओह, क्लियर कट जवाब. छुरी के जैसे जवाब मिल रहे हैं. वैसे लेजेंड, नॉर्मली तो पिटाई तो सबकी करी. कोई एक स्पेशल टीम जिसको आप सोच के आए थे कि यार इनको हम टॉप 12 में नहीं जाने देंगे वरना ये आगे चल के दिक्कत दें?
नहीं, ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं था. और अगर ऐसा सोचते भी तो किल फीड वगैरह ऑफ है, उतना कुछ समझ नहीं आता कि कौन कहाँ है. तो बस नॉर्मल जैसे खेलते वैसे ही खेला. ऐसा नहीं सोचा कि मतलब बड़ा टूर्नामेंट ध्यान से खेलना, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. जैसे हम खेलते वैसे ही सेम रखा.
अच्छा लेजेंड, एक क्वेश्चन है मेरा कि आप किस तरीके से सिलेक्ट करते हैं? मतलब टीम में आपने रिक्रूटमेंट भी करते हैं, तो किस तरीके से प्लेयर्स की रिक्रूटमेंट करते हैं? स्पेशली सिद्धार्थ की रिक्रूटमेंट का मैं जानना चाहूँगा. किस तरीके से आप वो टीम में लेकर आए उन्हें, एंड उसके पीछे कोई स्पेशल स्टोरी, कोई ऐसा स्टोरी कि सिद्धार्थ मुझे यहाँ मिला था एंड मुझे इसका ही प्ले स्टाइल अच्छा लगा, तो किस तरीके से आए वो टीम में आपके?
सिद्धार्थ का कैसा था, एक तो हमारे पास स्नाइपर नहीं था. जब सिद्धार्थ आया उससे पहले कोई स्नाइपर नहीं था, तो हम नॉर्मली खेलते थे ऐसी. तो रॉकी भाई की ही टूर्नामेंट थी, उसमें सिद्धार्थ ने हमको 1v4 मारा था अल्पाइन के मैच में. बहुत गंदा मारा था उसने. और हमको लगता था भाई वो ऐसे ही मतलब सही टीम में नहीं, उसका टैलेंट वेस्ट हो रहा है. तो हमने उसको बुलाया था और वो आ गया था सिंपली ऐसे ही. तब सही खेल रहा था.
That's amazing, and हम आपको बिल्कुल इंतजार नहीं करने देंगे. लेजेंड, सेलिब्रेट विथ योर टीम, और कल का दिन भी आपके लिए काफी मंगलमय रहे, अपकमिंग डेज भी आपके लिए मंगलमय रहे. तब तक के लिए TSG आर्मी ओपी बोलते, TSG आर्मी सबकी खोपड़ी खोलते. कुडोस ब्रदर, चीयर्स.
It seems like it was not just his gun which was doing the talking, and when he was asked questions also, it was a clear-cut answer that it's all about making my opponent suffer as I sit atop of my throne and laugh at people who are unable to match up to my supremacy.
It was such a savage interview. I mean, we all know Legend as a very nice, sweet guy, but this is a different side of him, man. But honestly, I like this as well. I like that he's oozing with confidence. It just really is palpable. And I hope that PSG are able to continue their dominance tomorrow as well, so that we can get more savage interviews like this.
Absolutely. I love the banter, the healthy banter which happened between these teams. It becomes a motivational factor for other teams to slowly step up, understand what actually this game is all about. And we had a very healthy day, if we have to speak frankly, because we had some showcase of talent. We have some new sniper who's showcasing himself in the TSG bootcamp, and then we had certain vintage players who are trying to catch up to the new meta as well. So all of this as to be frank, I was not expecting such a great day. I was expecting something out of the ordinary, where we can find the top teams to, always get in the booyah, always be on the top of everything, like Total Gaming or Vasio. But this time around, we're able to see the youngsters are also stepping up, showing these big dogs that they are also present in this lobby.
Yeah, and I hope that we get to see more of these youngsters rise up today. And there's plenty of more conversations to be had around not just the younger teams, but also some of the younger players that these people are finding. We saw about how Aura, he asked Legend questions about how he went around recruiting his players, how they found him. And yeah, there's been quite a lot of roster shuffles, which I think we can speak in length about, but we'll discover more about these rosters as the tournament goes on, and that's just gonna add to the spice of the storylines.
Absolutely. But Desi Gamers, I hope the fans don't go heavy-hearted, because they've still got 2 more days of this league stages, and they can still bounce back, right? In a single day, if a team has shown us that 120 points is just a kid's play, that can be replicated by each and every team out there. But with this, ladies and gentlemen, we have to say goodbye to you guys. We're going to be back again tomorrow and day after, and then so on until the tournament is over. You guys are watching Free Fire Max Skyesports Pro League. With me on the desk is Cribs and me, Arka. We are saying goodbye to you guys. See you guys tomorrow. Until then, adios.
It's time to bring the heat. We compete, got a mutual enemy. If it's up to me, I'm choosing you. Up in the sky, we'll never lose.
Like an unload, we precise. I will take your advice. Got this energy up, we will take home the prize. So come get it, play this game. Showing all your skills, bang, bang.
Let's raise the bar, ready to start, we'll never stop. Together we're off the chart.
No doubt we will get that. Roll out, never sit back,
Let's raise the bar, ready to start, we'll never stop. Together we're off the charts.
Yeah, I bet you will show them all your skills.
Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity. Set the tone like it's set in stone. Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity. Set the tone like it's set in stone. Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win. Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win.
Coming in, don't hit pause. Owning it like the boss. We think you cover the job like we the best. Going in for the chase, about to go celebrate. We can take home first place like first and 10.
Out in this world we can explore anything we want to the core. So come on, we'll play this game. Show all your skills, bang, bang.
Let's raise the bar, ready to stop, we'll never stop. Together we're off the chart.
No doubt we will get that. Roll out, never sit back.
Raise the bar, ready to stop, we'll never stop. Together we're off the chart.
Yeah, I bet you will show more your skills. Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity.
Set the tone like it's set in stone.
Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity.
Set the tone like it's set in stone.
Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win. Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win.
No matter what, we will weather any storm when we're together. We can always aim for more. Yeah, this that bang bang, we're up for it.
Set the tone like it's set in stone. Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity.
Set the tone like it's set in stone. Set in stone. Bang bang, we win. Set in stone. Set the tone like it's set in stone. Free fire, yeah. Could've never faced this alone. Keep my head up and breathing low. But my heart with the ones I know, yeah. Cause I got the bass turned up loud, and the best that I know around. Fire that we can't live without, yeah. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my oh my need you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not seeing light. And if I'm right, I've seen the signs. Seems like there's no more lonely nights, no. Then I guess I know that I'm feeling the fire. I can see nothing in our way when we're catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame, and I feel this heat in the space. Then oh, I guess I know that I'm feeling the see the red suddenly, barely time to count up to 3. Look around at my company, yeah. The sky opens up for lightning, time crawls up close, it's tightening. My brothers do the right thing, tapping on the floor. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my oh my need you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not saying light. And if I'm right, I've seen the signs. Seems like there's no more lonely nights, no. Then I guess I know that I'm feeling the fire. I can see nothing in our way when I'm catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame, and I feel this heat in the space. Then oh, I guess I know that I'm feeling the the clouds break apart. Are we going back to the start? Going back to the start, yeah. But I'm feeling the fire all up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. But I'm feeling the fire all up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. And I'm feeling that I'm feeling the catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for